Hello, everyone, everybody. How una they do? How everybody they do? It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Today is the 24th of October 2021, and we don't come back again with another edition of Social Media Review. Like always, we tell the Master Tenki, we tell the Creator Tenki, we tell the Almighty God Tenki for life, for all things, whether good or bad, we still tell them Tenki because we don't understand what they do, now no more get the understanding. And some of the things of life, we don't have control over it. We just say Alhamdulillah, we just say we tell God thank you, we just say glory be to God, whatever way you call them, we just tell them thank you for today because we're able to wake, we're able to do, we're able to move, we get what to eat. We say, tell God, thank you for that. And the one that we sick among, we let God give a medicine. The one that we tell una the big for, let God send a blessing for una. We all they ask, we all they pray, but let God give you the things. Let the universe bring to we the things that we deserve and we right for we and we will benefit mankind and humanity. Also, the one that we mourn, let God give the strength, let God give say in all things, now God we come out to, now God will go back to. So in all things, death is inevitable. Everybody get for die one day, but when you love one, you're hurting, you're missing them, may God give the courage and give the strength for endure and mourn. And may the blessings of the departed be a blessing to the one that they left behind. So today we get things that we talk, but before that, I say thank you to all our viewers because without you, we not get Voice of Salone. So unalo we continue for share, unalo we continue for come, unalo we continue for talk because when una share the program, when they bring more people for that we can join the conversation because some of these things we have to talk about it, some of these things we have to sound off, some of these things we get for dialogue, some of these things we get for understand each other, usa we they come out. So we get for talk. So una call more people if I can talk. Everybody when they watch right now, una share and una press the notification bell, whatever platform, if na YouTube you there, if na WhatsApp you there, if na Facebook you there, if na Twitter you there, wherever platform you they watch from, or if na we radio app where you they listen to na free tongue, whatever you there, just call your company and say una can talk, una can may we all join the conversation. And I get with me two gentlemen them. First one, I get we honorary professor, viewers honorary professor, Mr. Kutubu Koroma there with we. He is a very, very strong voice on social media, a voice that is controversial. We're not doing every day, everybody will like, but sometimes they talk a column like insane. We might not all agree at the same time, but he say I don't have no permanent enemy, no permanent friend. I call the issues like I see. That's in your mantra where they live by. And the other gentleman is none other than me attorney, a defense attorney for over 40 years, residing in North Carolina with a family, a grandfather, a husband, a daddy. So we just gladly forget people them, around we will get a lot of diversity. And me again, just like me, I'm just Fadima here, I'm just here. Who know what I do and what I be? It's up to you. I don't have to announce. I don't have to say. But I mean, I still need a young voice among us. I'm still looking for somebody that will join us. That's a young voice because we want to get the young, then perspective out and they look at because we young generation, how we they see things and how the young one they see them different. So one join the conversation with young people. So anybody will feel say they get time every Sunday and we one can give a voice. Or maybe not every Sunday, maybe every other Sunday. If you want can join your voice, you are so welcome because this is the voice of Sierra Leone. Everybody get this station. The people then, Mr. Kagbo and Mr. Charlie, we put this together. It was created for a voice away from home where we go come sound off and we sound off and be part of the democracy and be part of the change in Sierra Leone. So I don't talk about Kubo that, but I bring the co-hosts them because we get so important topic that we want to talk today. But now I bring my co-host them first. they tell una I do, then we go on the thing that we want to talk about. Because they don't call but people they don't call waiting do VOS not they talk about that waiting do VOS and when last week it happened we not been there on the air way happen. So we been begin for us we not be there but we don't can now for can talk about we don't can now for look can put with voice panel. We don't can now for let everybody can understand and be on the same page of music. That's what we get for come. We get for can talk on the Germany issue and also we get for can talk on the neck issue because the Germany issue this is about humanitarian but on the other side then people there we get in country this is what we talk say we get for fix we country because then if they say when I go safe they go able for go to something but how scary it is when you want for can go to nothing when you want for can go to not much and you don't use at least a comfortable life but we'll camp down there and we will find out what are the cause what are the reason why this happened in the first place who side all this begin oh they read and say people that get Salone passport people that wouldn't call who that they responsible for that? The government after government after government, we just left everything. Now the righteous they suffer for the wicked. We get for can talk about that. Also, we get for deal with neck issue. Because we don't talk a couple of weeks we get for deal with neck because elections are coming and we see the thing the way they happen and we they read the things the way they happen. We get for can go multiple neck issue. So that bring me gentlemen the inland and tell I do. Then we go can go right to the topic then. Thank you very much. Professor first, please.
Professor, it's muted.
I see mute.
Okay, now. Okay, now.
Okay, good evening and welcome to the show. See mute?
Okay. Professor.
Is that it?
I say yeah, good evening and welcome to the show. I mean, that's it.
Oh, okay. Okay, Mr. Shilonza.
Yeah, well, good evening, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. We know say with the broadcasts around the world, so different time, we get different time zone. So to us, it's almost evening time at the eastern part of the United States. So we're on Eastern Daylight Time. But even for we co-host Ms. Fadima, and she's in a different time zone, an hour beyond what we own time, and at the same country. And so we know see other countries like Australia, India, Turkey, on all day on varying time zones. So with that said, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody. I hope when I go enjoy the show, I hope when I go make whatever contributions I can always make by calling in and throwing in on our own view on which one I think say the real issue is, but always not to always, like we can say, not to always for just criticize and good for get ideas, because ideas, nobody get the monopoly on idea. So from the most unlikely source, you can get good suggestions and good idea. And we hope say, and we think say the government back home to listen. So sometimes they might implement some of the things they want to come up with into their policy for try for deal with the situation. We just the host ideas, trying to get people in for come together and call in. When I say together, I don't mean for joint forces, but to join we for call in and then just come up with ideas where in turn will be transmitted by them listening to una, which una they suggest. So that said, I hope we'll go enjoy the show again as usual today. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. Mr. The try for share Naya. I'm trying to share, I'm trying to bring people in. I'm trying to share. So one more time, I tell una thank you and please una share, let people can join the conversation. We get for talk, Corona still in the world still there, the pandemic still there. We they see all over the world, they say supply chain. There is a shortage of things all over the world. It is scary. It is scary because they're not being project this, they're not being see this when we depend on outside for bring things they can't give you, when we depend on other person them for do we stuff them for we. This is what the world is suffering, and it affect America, it affect all over the world. In Sierra Leone, it worse na Sierra Leone. It worse na Sierra Leone. People are crying, things are going up, things are going up, things are going up. The money not they increase, but things are going up. They not get things that in place where for where they call. But we they see all down that they go with the yeri, all down the people that they cry. We self they try for do we best for help with people them, but we they call on the government for try for do more. We see President Bio this week, he don't do cacao farm way, say them will bring you don't bring factory car inside. We see they open school them for develop all the development we they see, but the issue on the ground is people are hungry. How we go buffer down there? But now we left down there, now we go to the one we want to talk about today. We don't talk about Germany. We don't see on social media from last week. I think it's about 6 days or 7 days now. 6 days now. We see we sister them, we brother them, they cry, they get them picking them, they get them family, they get all teen, then they afraid, then they scared, they don't know their future, they at limbo because they go to people country in search of better life. They go in search of asylum, for try for change their way, for try for go, for try for do all this good thing. But it is unfortunate and it is sad that the people that right now, some man don't did it, they don't did it for all this time. Now they say, "Una never pack on a bag, we don't want to nanaya again." There are many reasons for that. Okay, one of the reasons when they say for let them go identify who that then are Sierra Leoneans. But I want to make una know something, say, it is not only Sierra Leone that they're doing it too. Because there's a newspaper where put up, say from 2019, Germany get over 250,000 illegal alien they went and in their country. And then what thing that they do, that they call embassy after embassy after embassy. Una people then una car identify una people them, as they identify them, then they deport them. Some people not a criminal, but unfortunately, then decide say nadande they want do because na them country. Why we they want for gonna people country? Because the one them where we put in charge, the one that what we been done put in charge. The one day where they waiting, they're not built with country. Like how we can talk every day, people like say, oh, now let's go back to history. But long term, when we young people then be go land overseas, when we people then be go, then they come back in their country. When we people then go, then they come back because something there for country. But now, when this war come, they open the mouth. The world open the mouth to we. People then they go for asylum. People then they go for then they win DV. When we been come, the time that when we come to America, we not been come with paper. Some of people now that they come with green card and they come with paper for the one that waiting in America. Europe you get for also for we the same thing whether European people that they face now. We when we don't call long term, we self go through them. Because why we go through them? Because we don't get paper, we want for stay na yaso. Because Salone we don't begin go down, we can land book, can visit, can do business and not go back. We get for hustle for fen paper. We get for do them mami coca job there under the table job. We get for lie say we been come out Virgin Island because na Virgin Island will come out. I don't need citizenship, me na Virgin Island and come out. Me na American. The waiting they call somewhere, the territory. So all them things and they go. Even right now, Usa we day, we where we don't can some people paper business not easy forget. It's a process. It's a process. Now with the yeri na social media, people then they talk, people then they holler, people then they make noise. Some people they condemn, some people they fall and two. But me, they look at from the humanitarian side of life. These people left. These people suffered. Some people they sell all what they get for try for left for come out go outside and they so. They don't come, they don't born picking, they don't make family, they don't get, they give them temporary stay. Paper don't expire. Now they call we government say we people them now such and such and such and such. I'll get for play a video when I hear you waiting Lawrence Lima say. I get for play a video when I hear you waiting the people let's say. I get for make when I know say the embassy, the people then na the Germany day, the embassy, Salone embassy, let that when I hear you waiting and say because everybody they talking on. But the humanitarian side of this, these are people. And to me, you know, it is sad, it is unfortunate. But this is how it is. This is reality. It is unfortunate. Even where we don't count 30 years ago, some people still don't get paper. They're not able for Timap Tranga, then they're under the shadow. Immigration, it is not easy anywhere in the world. Immigration, then they come after you, when they're ready for you, say, come on, I'm country. Even when they give you paper, if you do certain crime, then they take the paper that you hand, then send you go back. But a lot of those people that are there, they're seeking asylum. They're seeking a better future. We see now America. We see the border where them people, then South America, and then they rush for Kaya. Then they go under the Rio Grande. Then they go over the Rio Grande. So they drown. Then they go through the deserts because when you land from the borders and the wall, you go to New Mexico, you go to California, you come to Texas, all that desert before you meet main road. There are carcasses out there. There are rattlesnakes out there. People are dying of thirst. It is hot. People then they die now road for calm. All in the name of migrating, going somewhere else, for get a better life. All they're seeking, majority of the people, is for a better and comfortable life, for they're able to take care of themselves and their family. But when I hear all this noise on social media, people are saying, making it politics. This is not about politics for me. This is about livelihood of people. This is about families unsure of what in their future be. These are the people that are scared. They don't know what the next step is going to be. So they take out upon themselves. They get people them. It no matter who that they na the crowd because everybody they demonstrate. People then they come for kind of support. Everybody they come. If the matter there and here to your heart, you go out there and you stand to the people. And people are doing that. So there should be no big deal about whoever is there, whoever is not there. To me, it is no big deal. These people are fighting for something. They're fighting for able to hold on to the life where they don't establish. So let me go to the video then, and let me hear it, and then we will come back to Una. Una keep an open mind here. Una let me listen, and let me listen with no bias. Una let me listen, and let me put we self inside them people in their shoes. So let me go, please.
They're gonna send bombs that make us to run from where we're born. Alright, now we gotta play the music, alright? No more deportation! No more deportation! No more deportation!
We need freedom! We need freedom! We need freedom! Stop deportation! Stop refugees are welcome here!
It's everybody's right. We are here. We will fight. Deportation! Stop! 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 Stop deportation! Stop! 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 Stop!
You're full! Deportation! What is deportation?
Like the reason why we are demonstrating, like we don't want to go back again to Italy, because now they can wake people early in the morning, 4 a.m., 2 a.m. in the morning. They said, oh, you have to go back to Italy. And when we are in Italy, most of us sleep in the train station, and no accommodation, no food, no nothing. We are really suffering from the cold.
We are the Syrians. We suffer for 10 years war. After the 10 years war, 2013, we suffer from the Ebola. Now we have flooding in our country, in Sierra Leone. We lost our mothers and fathers. We came here to have a peaceful life. We came here to have a rest. We came here to make our life to be better for those that we live at our back. But now they are telling us that we should go back. Is it fair?
From the Salone family and the government of Sierra Leone. We are a very peaceful citizen then. We are out today for talk to the government of Sierra Leone. We want to let the government know say this step where they take not a good step. We want to let the government know say today the people are in Germany here. When the land book, then the land different work there. Then the work, the development and Salone in the go, not to here in the left. 90% to 95% of we won't work today. All who benefit na Salone in the go. Na Salone go for bill house. If I don't become a doctor, I don't become a good driver, I don't become a good carpenter, tomorrow na Salone I go for go serve. So why we the government? Why the government they come for to identify people and give out what they call emergency travel certificates? Through the thing and the way they share, the German government they able to deport anybody they want for deport. This is not a big problem. Now the thing is so one more understand. And they call on the government immediately for me them cancel this then travel certificates for me them cancel what they share to the German government for deport people and back home. And they I get more than 10 people or 12 people already take care of. That man back gets more than how many people already take care of. When I can't take we all when I go to back home. The country in economy don't go down. So when I say we take people here for go them back home, what do they gain? Nothing. So man they can land work here, all they work they know the land, so man the benefits they for go to Salone. Everything what they do so now today. We get different people here. Some man don't integrate, some man don't learn work, some man left 6 months for getting paper, some man left 1 year, some man left some months, some man don't want picking here with different nationality. We don't get different we picking them don't begin go school in here. Then when I can't take people we picking them where we picking them when I go to back home. What's it that the government they benefit from? Nothing. So they call on the Salone government not for sharing the emergency travel certificate where they want for give out for deport people from Germany to Salone. It don't make sense. No help yourself. Now the government. Now they say yes. Now they say no. But now they rule the people. Una for nothing good for the people. Una no for can deprive people. So man don't sell all in property for kaya, for can take care of your family, for can brighter in future. Now una want for take me back home. It don't make no sense. We they appeal to the government, we they ask the government for let it withdraw, for let them withdraw. What's in the one for do? For give out travel certificate for deport people back. Do ya? This not a one man cry. This not everybody cry. This not Salone man cry. Before we see people and go suffer tomorrow, some man go turn thief man, some man go turn idler. Left then if you not get travel certificate, Germany not going to deport nobody without this travel certificate, without this identification. Germany not going to deport nobody. Would they make that they clear to now? What do the government do for we? What do Salone people and tell the government say? May they withdraw the delegates the way they come for this identification. All the problem don't solve. May they not give not travel certificates. We and them people are now they live now for more than how many years. They know why they say they need to take we back home. The office where they in charge for deport people and they send people a letter say go identify yourself. The government don't send people for identify you and deport you back home. And the letter this way every Salone man now we not get people don't receive. So they talk to the government, or they talk to Salone people, when I tell the government say, may they withdraw this way they want for do, because the sufferation they put to the country. How many people there where they survive through that country there? Some man don't begin bills. Some man don't begin do business.
Bangura.
You know? So they call on the government. Please, when I thank you.
With this biometric system. And one part of the issues that we mentioned get for do now that people ensure compliance. So how una get for go about this particular compliance issue?
Okay, I go say small thing. Mr. Cole said will come in that because the system, the compliance basically therefore deal with the how they ensure the compliance. Therefore start with the biometric process. All over right now, my sister, if you check, one of the simplest way people ensure compliance, even in government offices, like if you want like 98 years so, if you want to know if people in the car work early or on time, you can just put the biometric timer at the entrance. You don't even need for put register. So now then are all we look at basically. Most people don't get license when they're host they sit up. Most drivers they drive in this country they're not even supposed to drive. Some don't even know the road signs. Some don't even know the ethics on the road. Now make if I not say I beg your pardon. It's so common for driver there, mostly especially for them commercial driver there. As soon as sometimes they drive you bad, you grumble, the next thing for use bad language. So it's so common. So with that thing all we don't look at see, you know what I mean? Let we make the process kind not like a rigid, but let we make it in a way where somebody go really go through. Like well, you know go jump class 3 for go sit MPSC.
Okay, sorry, now the wrong tape down there, then they sort down they out. Then they sort down they out because we didn't sort them out. But so far, another year, the first gentleman, and I don't see the demonstration. Lab bring me panels there in, Mr. Shilon to you first. What do you take on that? What do you take on that? What do you don't hear so far? What do you don't see? We're not hearing you.
For we will come out of country, we tap na people country for many, many years, and we, like me, your line of work, also get for deal with deportation. And we don't see deportation even from the country where I come out Salone deporting other nationals them. Sometimes in the most excruciating circumstance. Is a very, very complex issue. Germany, the young man with the red hat and the red shoes, just not just described to me the best approach for because input the responsibility, you know, they blame the German government. This red, the guy, young man who just talked to me, they blame we on government for cooperating with the German government. By implication, it seems like he's saying the German government to do waiting they for do. So it's a question of waiting we to do, and he make a very good case as to why we on government na Salone, we on government meaning Salone government, not for cooperate, because the ramification of cooperating with Germany, requesting that they get the names of the Salonians them who are illegal to be deported. This young man make a case that it affects not only the one that within Germany illegally, but it will affect large number of people in Australia because of remittances of money way the one that with Germany the same for them people for keep them people going on. So that's the important part of it. Here is the situation. No country, even America, not able to deport any foreign national unless that national they get the country where say come out them passport, valid passport. Without a valid passport, no country can able to deport you. Even in America, there was a time when Yahya Jammeh will not cooperate with the US government. He said, he just put out one of the guys of, he don't want any deportee Gambian for go Gambia because they not get nothing for offer. That's so he put them. So he tell America, say, we're not stuck with them. As a result of that, Gambians then we run afoul with the immigration laws. They're not be able to put them at detention for too long or arrest them, and they're not be able to deport them because they not get passport because under international law, either you get what you call this laissez-passer, this temporary traveling certificate, or you get a clearly identifiable national passport. So without that, they're not going to able deport you to any country. So waiting under Germany, waiting Germany do, you just make sure say, hey, they're not going to cooperate with the State Department. As a result, Gambians were not being deported. As a result, they were given work authorization. They were given other things to stay while then with the government the wrestle. So Sierra Leone, we get to make our own policy. Sometimes it's a rock and a hard spot. I understand, say, yeah, it is true that the Germans, they want the cooperation of Sierra Leone. As a result of that, then they go through the embassy, and we own government, by all indication, they cooperate with the Germans for names them. Now, we're going to make two distinctions now, or one distinction. Identifying Sierra Leoneans as true Sierra Leoneans with Sierra Leonean passport is one thing. The other question is whether, but the one that wouldn't deport, now the one that way it seems to me they claim say are illegals. So I not think that the one that way gets Sierra Leonean passport, who are not illegal, but if you get Sierra Leonean passport and then you are illegal, it just make it easier for identify you as a Sierra Leonean, but it not protect you. So the thing about the Sierra Leonean issue and this passport issue, what we need for get some good understanding of is this deportation thing. Every country get deportation problem. And we see we own at the border, Mexico and other, particularly the Mexican borders, we see the problem what we get now in terms of overstay. Other countries then coming through Mexico, other citizens from other countries like Haiti, even Africans sometimes at times come through Mexico. So we see that problem there. The deportation, I think where every country get difficulty with. Now, matter of how each country they react to them. In Sierra Leone, President Bio get a choice. Does he want the illegal Sierra Leoneans in Sierra Leone to be deported by cooperating with the German government, by giving them information and temporary passes or traveling certificates for deporting in Sierra Leone? That's a policy decision. But if you say let them deport them Pupuya, the trouble with that is when in Sierra Leone, what do we have to offer them? And what about the number of people that they able to take care of from the Germany where they're not the source of these people, the survival now Sierra Leone. So what's going to happen with those people? But that's a decision the BO government get to make. For say, we rather maintain good relations with Germany and work with them for deport Sierra Leoneans who are there, not doing anything, you know. But the difference is when they deport Sierra Leoneans, when they come home, they have nothing to do. We don't have any jobs to give them. So the country get to take that into account. That on the one hand. On the other hand, I think the BO government, as well as a lot of African governments, because they get foreign aid from some of them countries like Germany, will not want step on their toes. We rather cooperate with them because otherwise they get the power for cut off the foreign aid. So that's the decision. Some countries, like Gambia, they've set an example in the past, and I understand even this government they try to do that too, whereby they no saying a bad policy not to cooperate, but they no say politically they go lose vote. So some of them not to cooperate with Germany, some of them not to cooperate with America for issue traveling certificate or passport, in exchange for which America or some of the other countries then go say, well, we'll cut off all the benefits we would give them. So when we say Gambia don't try that and then put that into effect. Sierra Leone, I think, get difficulty. They rather get the money or the foreign aid within the give them in exchange for cooperating with the other countries, them, well, like particularly Germany. I think one of Donald Trump's rally, we get that same problem there with America, where the Gambian government not be the cooperate, not be the give passport to people who are alleged to be Gambians, but when Trump come, somehow he works something out with the new government. I think they begin for deport Australians them again. So it's a mixed bag, because every country they deport people. So, and I sympathize with the one that way where they hustle, then they try to take care of themselves and establish a new life. Then the government is on their back. I'm in agreement with the young man with the red shoes and the red hat who say, we young country for think about the ramification and not cooperate with the other country. I tend to agree with them a little more because that's the only practical approach. But it's a catch-22 for Salone government. If they not cooperate with Germany, then Germany they cut off whatever aid then they give Australian. If they cooperate with Germany, then Germany give them the aid, but then we young people them who end up being the sacrificial lamb by them being identified and deported. So it's a catch-22, and there is no winner. Now everybody loses, So I don't go criticize the German government because by their own law, then they do what they want to do. Not go criticize we own government to an extent because then they try to protect their image and for sure Germany still they cooperate. And then I still go agree with the young man where the complaint say government need for take into account for say then within at them place they make money for help the economy of Australia as well as helping them people. So there is no winner on all around, but so the BO government for those therefore think very carefully before they.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Shillon. Thank you for that. Yeah. Professor, I'll bring you into the conversation, sir. And Mr. Shillon make a point, say, kind of like when they go identify people and they illegally. But then gets another case where they say a lot of Sierra Leoneans, the people that get Salone passports. When we don't know, say, we don't hear President Madabio wanted, don't talk, say, this passport here, so aiming for Selam and all that. We don't see the immigration officer them. They just give the passports to anybody. And during that war, a lot of people will go on refugee. Then when they will be come with the ECOMOG, then Nigeria, they go take Salone passport. Some of them are committing crimes. Some of them are in jail. Some of them are where they call, but when they catch them, what if they go inside with na Salone passport? So now they say, like you say, the chickens are coming home to roost. The chickens are coming home. What thing we be done put now in the council. Say the innocent bystanders are getting caught up in them here. We see them deport of two guys them 2 years ago before the corona just started. They said they were Sierra Leoneans. When you read them, they're not even they talk Sierra Leone, but they get Sierra Leonean passports. And that is another dilemma where we deal with. We see very recently now America just raised the ban on us because we country not agree for take the one day where they want deport. They not agree for sign the thing. Just like Mr. Shillon say, there are gonna be consequences because we depend on loans, because we cannot fix our own country, because we cannot invest in ourselves and develop ourselves. People have to escape. And most of the people that went to Europe, like those, countries over there, a lot of them went through that temple run. And that temple run is a dangerous way when they go, but then when person desperate and see him back against the wall, the flight or flight thing will come on into the intuition say, I have to go, I have to take it. Many did not make it through. A whole bunch of them too made it. They are there. They have established. Now we get this now the ground. What he will say, because we will get for can play while we defend the audio of when Lima explained. Because this thing not today it begin. If we don't begin last year, They just they can't for can finish them. It will not happen. It will not begin happen. The paperwork will not begin there on the plate. And Germany now from 2019-20, now them begin this thing. So they go now people come to them. And I go really myself go can explain when I mean the deputy interior minister. They go can explain when I go, professor, let me come to how all these things can begin, because in every problem there is a beginning to a problem. There is a beginning to everything. And we all now immigrants, they we don't come. We not even get paper, like me, I not even get paper where I come, but I hustle till I get my paper now I'm a citizen. But you know, a lot of people, it is not easy in them parts than they of that Europe, because America more open to diversity more than any other country in the world. It was the first now England we been go because we under Britain. England begin tight the upper we all begin migrate to America. When the war come, there other country like Canada, Australia, and there other one, then they open them country them. But when they not get enough people, they close their doors. They close their doors because they don't want people. And now even the DV that they play in America, then they say you get a high school diploma. And in the high school diploma, the requirement is they want to take the best out of Sierra Leone. They want the one that we pass 5 subjects, including math and English. They are lifting the bar up because they don't want any kind of people in their country. They want the ones that have like that high whatever, then put the other one and don't say we don't want the one then they for let them come. So then they shift out other the one let them come in the country. Last person to you, Professor. What do you have to say about all?
First of all, me get a very different think about this. I get both national security business day, I get foreign policy angle to this. The national security means every country get the right for protect the territory. Every country get the right for that. Anyhow we look at, they get the right from that. They get the right for accept people in the country. They also get enough for accept people. So look at that very straight. Now this thing called the sovereign. They get the right, the sovereignty of the nation. They get the right for protector. Okay, but that said, when you go back, me not kill it for talk about what you call them, the symptoms. I kill it for so how this time. The first area where you look, how this come about, where everybody they claim saying that Salone, we country, we not be protect the integrity of the passport. We give everybody without screening. People are saying in America they can get passports. Yes, they also, in some cases, they can get an economic benefit out of it. But the standard when they set for let you get that in passports, even though you know to citizen, it is such that you not going misuse and abuse them. That you can tell anybody. You not going misuse them. So first, the politicians say that they about the process. Number two, because of the bad governance, who get all along bad governance. So this create a lot of hardship. People do not get jobs, they don't get anything. They're not able, benefit themselves. So they say, okay, they go look for a greener pasture outside, taking all kind of a risk for go. Now, Lord, go again to this question of okay, they get for ID, Uda and Salone. Uda, obviously enough again. The government more assumes that we don't even America so who did it. If you become illegal now, if you not put your papers in order, then say going to national security and foreign policy business, they say okay, remove you come out of the country. Not only Germany, we get for be very fair. America said they remove you come out of the country. Africa also they do that because when they look at history, Ghana don't deport a whole lot of people that go back to Nigeria. On where President Shagari, no Nigeria. I mean, when President Shagari be in the office, they deport a lot of people that for go back and they country. So what they do that law will stay away the castigation. Yes, we sorry for the people that where they employ them, but also we own countries Africa because they can say one of the reasons why the people do bad governance, jobs not there, way not there for let people they subsist. So what they do, they take calculated risk for go overseas. And the people that they host governments, you're like American, I when I do the host government also therefore watch out for themselves. Now, yeah, under President Jimmy Carter, they not go raid a whole lot of places, pick people them up and deport them. Obama deport a lot of people. Them won't look at the statistics more than Mr. Trump did. But all that they defend the country. So we also get for the country the criticize. We get for giving the break. Yes, we therefore be very mindful of the human rights and all that thing. But for Salone can begin a question, you know, we not in that moral position for questioning. Now they young now waiting they want do they. Now that waiting they want do. We not get any choice. They could say we're sorry for the people they apply. So the people that wait now they try to say, oh, because they know they get for yeah, we can understand. But the people that get the right for get the country back. Then anyhow we argue this, we not going to overcome Nandi. The German people they get the right for getting country back. The American people they get the right for getting country back. The British people they get the right to Salone get the right for getting country back. These are the things. So what do we need for do? We need for create atmosphere. We need for create. What do we need for do? We need for them and we leaders and government leader. You guys that they create a situation where they make the people in your country then they begin turn against them. Where like as you make some reference to yesterday, but here too. Yesterday, as what we know, people that not be they migrate come on the country they can afford in country then. And you just no say when people they left Australia, so then at England and they go. When they go England before we are away, they don't go back because you had everything available to the citizens then. So don't be get economic migrants them. Now academic migrants will be get go study quick and then go back. People hardly came to the United States. You know that. By the time they even way they go, government and they pay for everything for they go. By the time you don't get a job, but all of them say not there because of bad governance. Again at the play, the IMP and the Shaggy they go again at office where they don't get the cognitive intelligence for no sake. Which belongs to everybody belongs to nobody because you now don't grab everything and the people that get so the people that they take a chance. So other than begin to castigate, you know, the American people then the British people then the Lord begin castigate we young people then. So now are responsible for the plight of the people they need because not deny we then the position for say, you know what, Salone not be there so we be no Salone when nobody know they go take oversee. By the time don't study, you don't run go back. You don't run go back because the country be getting. But now if you don't know college for high school then you don't even get jobs. So what you do, you try for angle for anything, you take risk, calculated risk. So like we say, we're sorry for the people there because it's a terrible situation that, but we get for go back inside the problem there that we people there and what you and you get for do all then and that they tell people there they need for change the trajectory of governance, they now need for reassess what they do, or else these are the things that the people they go to back to you guys.
We get for go back to the government. It is a right of the country for say the host country say I withdraw me say because even in America here when this refugee business been there a lot of people then do the TPS program. And then when Tija Kamba announced say the war done, they write people the letter, then give people the letter say then get for go back. Then get for go back. Some people don't go back. They hide because we know America they're very, you know, they're very lenient when it comes to once you don't get inside, as long as you know they cause no problem, they're not gonna go after you pass really, you know, you do real bad stuff for bring attention to yourself. The only thing no more, you go there under the shadow, you know, go get walk past you, they do them and coca under the table, but you still they survive, you still they make small living, you know, and they write a lot of people say they never go back, but who people they not go back, they're still there, then they under that they do a thing and they do, then they mind their business, you know. But then Mr. Shilon make another point. He say it is the government gets a choice. Okay, it is wrong, yes, the right thing for do is to think. But can't we sit on the table and negotiate? Because when we hear the old man, the young guy say, some people get 6 months for let them get them paper. They're almost done day now. So if they go identify them, because Germany don't get a crisis, they want to get rid of 250,000 immigrants that were in the country, they want to send them go back. Some of these people that have done everything that they should, then at the line they wait, then can take them, then carry them go. If they go show up yonder, then can take them, then carry them go. They're waiting and call. I see one of reviewer them where write what's in her name? Oh God, I don't lost the stuff. But he writes here, we don't there now for how many days? I forgot his name. Yeah, I think he's in Germany. He said they don't day out here for how many days now? They out there, they protest. My brother, we are advocating for you all, we are praying for you all, and we trust and believe, say whatever the will of God be done, let it be done. Because me they tell the people and say, yes, they get right for they out there, yes, they get right for them must say, yes, they get for fed for their right. People are sound enough for you, some people not like that, some people like that. But in the end, the country gets right, now the country, for say we don't want to now, and that's the fear of a lot of these people saying we have studied, we get small left for study, so now all that experience where you don't get all that school where you don't go, if you don't get certificate for sure, they can send you go back. You not go say I go this school where you don't get something for sure, for say I go this school, because most of them when you go there, you go to school. Once you they go school, they not they bother you. They go school, they learn something. They don't bother you. They give you stay, they give you student visa, they give you work permits. They do it here too, and they do that. But once that, what's in a call they now, then the fear of the people say if they go. So in the right thing for the yes, they therefore cooperate and all that. But then if you look in your cities in favor, can't they negotiate? Because there is nothing, no law not there whether or not they negotiate. Laws are there, laws are made. And laws can be broken by diplomacy. Things that can be overlooked by diplomacy. So the people are pleading. So the government, because I don't know if that audio of Lawrence Lima already for me, when I listen to what Lawrence Lima say. Technical team, do you have it ready for us? I don't know if you have it ready yet. But because sometimes when we explain it, it is not the same as hearing it. I can want for the hear from the source. Because we've been trying to play the video, but they're saying they get copyrights to the video. We don't want to let them block we because they don't stop we on YouTube for a long time. Where we get for start another account back, they lock we whole account down. They say for somebody go after we say copyrights and all that. But I think the voice is ready. So if the technical team can play that voice, but Mr. Shillon, while in the plan, do you think diplomacy can work in this thing too? Can we go sit down and talk again and renegotiate for these people? The criminals, I don't have nothing to do with it. But the good citizens, the one that were legally, they try to get their life together, can they negotiate? It is their right, but anything diplomacy can make exceptions. Now we are waiting Lima say for, so now listen small bit. Then we'll come back.
For calm. Continue the discussion. Please, if you just join me, hit for the like button and share this program so more people will able to know about this particular discussion and the program we will deal with.
This morning to discuss this and many other issues having to do with the said issue. I mean, some deportees, asylum seekers who are waiting to be deported back home. We are with us in the studios this morning the Deputy Minister of Internal Affairs, who is not a person but Lawrence Lima. Good morning, Lawrence, and it's a pleasure having you.
Good morning, my brother, and thank you for having me.
And you've heard of you've listened keenly to the insurance. It has to do with asylum seekers in Germany and other European countries who are faced with a situation of them being deported back to their home country. Can you help us make sense of what the real situation is?
Well, in the first place, the word asylum seekers was not the question discussed, or was not the issue discussed. So I'm talking about asylum seekers here. It's misleading in itself. I was away from the office, and I came back. I met buses parked on my parking lot. And I was told that the chief immigration officer gave instructions that those buses should be parked in my parking lot. And so I called the chief immigration officer, and he told me, no, they have guests who came with those buses, and that I should even go there to be able to talk to them on behalf of government and also representing the ministry. So I told my driver to find somewhere to park whilst I got to the office of the Chief Immigration Officer. And, well, of course, I almost met them rounding up, and so they decided to give a recap as to the purpose of their being in Sierra Leone. So I'm explaining it that they have people in their country. That is, I met 3 groups of people. One was from Netherlands, the other from Germany. Then, of course, there was a head of one organization called Frontex. And so they presented their account to me, the reason for which they came to Sierra Leone, which is to establish a bilateral relationship between or amongst those countries to be able to deport perceived Sierra Leoneans who are in their country without proper documentation. And so when the account was presented to me, I further told them that, well, in the first place, you claim them to be Sierra Leoneans, and it's good at least we've gotten such a bilateral discussions to open communication lines so that a team can be set up to be able to go and verify or ascertain as to those you call Sierra Leoneans, if indeed they are proven to be Sierra Leoneans, and you found them to be in your country illegally. We cannot deny them citizenship, and if you want to also deport them, we cannot deny that opportunity.
Now, let's say, for instance, those who've been apprehended or who are to be apprehended in those European Union countries, let's say, for instance, we find there are a huge number, a huge chunk of Sierra Leoneans among the numbers that will be captured and set for, deportation back to their country. What will then be the stance of the government?
I would not want to assume until that happens.
So as we speak, what's the stance of government in all of this?
Well, what we are saying, if you are in people's country illegally and, of course, you are apprehended, well, certainly government will not be an accomplice to that illegal act, and government will certainly work towards improving the image of government and also the image of the country by ensuring that if you are in people's country illegally, and if they want to deport you, we cannot deny you citizenship if we're able to verify that you are a citizen of Sierra Leone.
And of course, Leone, who is the Deputy Minister of Internal Affairs sitting here, is saying that should our brothers and sisters are caught within those numbers, the government, of course, is of a firm view that they must be deported back to Sierra Leone.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Because from the premises you've laid, it's as if yes, there are Sierra Leoneans within those numbers, illegally still in people's country. But of course, we all know the problems back home.
What is the problem?
One key issue is the fact that job opportunities is a key reason why our brothers and sisters in Sierra Leone do work overseas to at least find
because of job opportunity. You would want to occupy somebody's country illegally and perhaps even engage in criminal act. You would want that to happen to Sierra Leone. Let's say Sierra Leone has all the job opportunities, and you would want people to come to Sierra Leone illegally when you do not even have the opportunity to do background check and to be able to ascertain who are they, where are they coming from, and to be able to also stabilize the security of the country. Would you want other countries to compromise criminal acts in your country by letting their citizens to criminally enter your country? No, as a government, we are responsible enough to be able to rebrand the image of this country and also give respect to our citizens living outside there. If you are in people's country and you are there illegally, for any reason that the government of those countries want to bring you back home, and we are able to prove that you are Sierra Leoneans, we cannot deny that opportunity because it has its own implications on government, it has its own implications on our country. And so we would not be an accomplice to any illegal act. And therefore, we believe that Sierra Leoneans are responsible enough and will therefore not dare venture to enter another man's land illegally. We believe they are responsible enough and they will take all due process necessary to be able to be in those countries. The issue of talking about asylum, it has its own legal ramification. If you are in another man's country seeking an asylum, then there must be justification for which you are living there under that particular category of being of actually staying there in that category of seeking asylum. But that itself has its own legal implications and political implications itself. But the presentation that was made by those representatives who came to the office of the Chief Immigration Officer presented a case that they have people who are illegal occupants in their countries, and most are perceived to be Sierra Leoneans.
Now we talk of the economical gains. You and I know, for instance, for the fact that you have relatives overseas, you know, in one reason or the other, you must have been getting some economical gains as a country or as civilians. But it's as if one of the key measures that your ministry and of course the government is trying to apply is the fact that they want to instill discipline. So therefore, if for any reason our brothers are caught there, as illegal occupants living within those countries, they must be deported. Is that the case?
I see how you are struggling to really justify illegality. I cannot justify that, honestly speaking. And of course, if you justify illegality, it downs on your reputation. That's more the reason why you have been struggling to flow.
I'm not even struggling.
No. You are actually meandering or circumventing the issue of mainland ingredients to illegality. I cannot stamp that. This government cannot stamp that. And I believe Sierra Leoneans will not engage in any illegal conduct outside to dampen the reputation of this country.
So now, let's say, for instance, those who be clamped out there, in these European Union countries. Let's say, for instance, they are not Sierra Leoneans, and they ask that they should be brought to Sierra Leone for the mere fact that they produced a Sierra Leonean passport out there, claiming to be Sierra Leoneans and not even speaking our mother tongue, which is of course the Creole. Is the government ready and willing to occupy them in the country?
That is why, of course, we ask them to. That is why they are asking us to open communication line. If there is communication line, we'll be able to vet those claimed to be Sierra Leoneans. And vetting, of course, requires expertise. So if you are ready to send in the team, you have to send in the experts. We even further ask them to also help us with capacity, like training, to be able to train our own personnel here, to be able to have the capacity sufficient enough to ascertain those who are Sierra Leoneans and those who are not Sierra Leoneans. But likely, I would not even want to also give people the insight as to how they can even claim Sierra Leonean citizenship or not. But as much as I know, if you are Sierra Leonean, you have what it takes or give indications to verify that you are Sierra Leonean. So if anybody claims to be a Sierra Leonean, the team that will be living here to go and verify that, they will have their questionnaire, right, to ascertain or do the background check to verify whether they are Sierra Leoneans.
Mute.
Sorry. I'm muted. I didn't even know I was muted. Again, like I say, me people them, when I know this is now over a year old video where the Lawrence Lima, they say the people then come, be in office, immigration send them to the office, in can sit down, the meeting be almost done, in the recap of the meeting, they tell us say they need them for let them can go identify the people they way, not Sierra Leonean, not to Sierra Leonean, for whatever reason. And you hear when Lima, they strongly say they're not going to do nothing if they therefore identify Sierra Leonean, they go identify Sierra Leonean. And in as much as, yes, it is the right thing to say, but Combra not a talk show. That's what I think out of this. A voice of a parent go have a little bit of say, even though it is the right thing for do, like I say, Mr. Shilon, I ask you the question, that people can negotiate. There are diplomacies. There are things that we can do to fix the wrongs. Yes, people don't want nobody in a country illegal, but at the same time, there are diplomacies that can sit at the table, that can try for negotiate and try for see, okay, if them people are get for go back later, how they get for go? They get for set themselves for, okay, una give them so time, let them prepare. But these people are afraid that because of how they don't do other people them, when you go to the office, as soon as they identify you, this is the fear of these Sierra Leoneans. They're just going to take them, pack their bundle, and put them. We see video them on YouTube of other country them where this guy say, I could not even take nothing. They just come, they arrest me, I don't get time for taking nothing. I left everything. And that is the kind of, at least if you send people back to their country, send them with dignity. Because then they put them in chains. They are not criminals. They just go there for a better pasture. They go seek asylum because they say anytime when you land foot in any country, if you feel say your life threatened or maybe economical threats, they get thing the way they bother them. I am not making excuses for wrong, but let me make on the reality of human being in the humanity side. I mean they come out from the diplomacy side there, but the humanity side of things too. We therefore remember say these are people, these are human beings. These are not APC people, these are not SLPP people, these are Sierra Leoneans. Sierra Leoneans that left, like how most of we within the diaspora are left, for come for a better life, for can get education, for can get this. But because our countries are not conducive enough, we cannot thrive, we cannot be our best. We stay in people's country and we drain we country, but we are supporting our people back home. So Mr. Shilon, again, I put on to you, sir, with this diplomacy side of it. The law, as you're a lawyer, the law is the law. But when you then are court, when they are sentencing somebody, they look at things, they look at conditions before they see how many sentences they will give, and it is by the discretion of the judge, according to the law they set guidelines. They set guidelines, but at the same time, they have mercy on things. That's my point I'm trying to come to here. So let me see what you say for that, sir.
Okay, man. Basically, what you say, I agree with you 100%. I also agree with Mr. Lima in the sense that he was very careful and very skillful in responding to the situation, which I found very admirable in the sense that in your position is under the guise of becoming like a double-edged knife. It gives this impression, say, all then they do not the legal thing. The legal thing is they are just there to identify Sierra Leoneans as opposed to non-Sierra Leoneans who may or may not be going around with Sierra Leonean identification. So in very carefully they argue, say, so since now the legal thing then they do, this person with the interview and they try for get him for make you do something illegal, which he is not going to do. So that he keeps saying in a very fine and carefully worded way, and it's consistent. So Mr. Lehman, in the position, in your position, like Ms. Fadima say, now that of like a judge, you know, you can't put the Combra hat on. If your job now for go and identify certain set of people, that's what it is. Even though you will feel sorry, but you get to identify these people and they're not going to get the protection where they need it. But what Ms. Fadima says is correct. There are always diplomatic way of resolving them problems there. Like the young man that make a case as to the downside of deporting people in Sierra Leone. We on foreign ministry can take that into account. Get a meeting with the ambassador or the consular officer in Sierra Leone, and then the foreign minister can get a meeting or arrangement, Zoom conversation with a counterpart in Germany, and explain and say, look, because that's why America then get all kind of remedy, then get temporary protective status. So they say, okay, you get it, what you call TPS, then will allow you for work, but they don't give you any rights in the country. They don't give you status where you could switch from TPS to become a permanent resident, to become a citizen, but The TPS status will enable you for work, will enable you for feed your family, and on and on. There are a lot of creative ways. So the same thing with the African countries, and I've seen them will lack. Lima and them and others, while in the same way, the same way, the correct thing, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the BO government also should have another set of people who know what they're doing to be doing a back channel negotiation, just like as they did for TPS, for Sierra Leoneans, for Liberians. Liberians to this date have TPS. After over 20 years, Liberians are still having TPS status. So Lim and them can try, when they don't say the correct thing on TV, they can go back and try for say, look, we got too many Australians then we can understand. If they deport them all, it will be a disaster, both for them where they come and for the people and where they support Naya. That said, let we meet with the German Foreign Ministry and let we explain to them that politically it's not going to be good for we, the BO government. They're going to go cast we in this negative light. Also, from a humanitarian standpoint, it's not going to be good because of ABC, therefore put anything together. And Germany may eventually agree to defer the deportation of these people until further notice. And then Chile can move on from time to time to time. Like TPS, where TPS and we say we get to now for 1 year. Then they extend them for 3 years. Then it'll be 4. Then they extend them for 1 more year, then it'll be 5. We not then creative thinking then we not get back home. You know, not to one way like what Ms. Fadima say, not to just because Lehman say, when I'm a job, I get to identify people, which it is. That doesn't necessarily mean there are no other ways for deal with the situation. That doesn't necessarily mean people can be deported. Even in immigration matters now, you get when people are not qualified for political asylum, when they apply for political asylum, you know, then get another category, another remedy where they call suspension, you know, withholding of deportation. So, in other words, you apply for political asylum, the judge listens to your case, the judge said, okay, you not get a right for get political asylum, so I deny you political asylum. But the judge can also see after that denial day what you would call mitigating factor. For say if now it does say you are deportable because you don't meet the threshold, you don't meet the factors the way you right. Yeah, okay. But now the judge also get another option where called withholding of deportation. So even though you not qualify for deportation, but the judge get the power for withhold deportation, so you can still deny, you can still work, you will still and get employment authorization. But so Africa, we need for the look at denting and the way than to do. Then we self try for implementing and we own thing. So it is up to the BO government for find similar thing with Germany get. For say, okay, then we illegals there. Now, how many of them fit other category of deportation remedies? We're short of deporting them. We will not be able, when a law allow, so they can still stay. These things are workable. I mean, Ms. Fadima, you just come up with a general umbrella and say negotiation. Yes, they can negotiate it, and there are other remedies. So the government can do that. The government can negotiate with the German government and not get for deport the illegals. There are a bunch of illegals here who enjoy all kind of due process in this country, in America, who just by what's available to them. So we can, Salone government can do the same thing for them when they're within Germany, when they try for deport. They don't have to deport them. They can accuse them as such, they get processed, or they can put them through, and at the end of the day, and from that process, you will end up getting German citizenship and all kind of remedy. So I agree with you, Ms. Fadima. They're not going to deport them, but we cannot blame Mr. Lehman right now in the sense that he's just saying what the law requires of him. I already asked the other person, say, well, you collect less somebody kind of Salone, then illegal, then he's right. He had to disagree with him. But I also, because we all don't be foreigners, like some of we come at this country on visitors visa, overstay, come in all sort of form. So it's so easy for be able to understand why it's necessary for the government for step in for help the citizens them. So I will hope the BO government will see say there are many more Sierra Leoneans back in Germany who needs help, who may be illegal, but the Australian government can still step forward and help them, which is different from criminals, people who actually deserve
Yeah.
to be deported.
Yeah, the criminals are different. Because Lima say these people are criminals, but not all of them are criminals. When you generalize
He's
like
wrong.
that, then it make
He's
you
wrong.
say you take the broom and sweep all of them people. Not all these
No.
people are criminals. Some of these people just want a better life. Most of them, yes, even Naya, the one that where they come, we get among we, the one that where no one see us. They one then they me not get talk for them. Then at the but the people that are there, that are working, that are going to school, that have had families, we can come together. There are things that then get immigration law them, just like how Mr. Shillon explained what gets in America. Then TPS Professor, make I bring you in the conversation quick to let you say put you don't hear Mr. Lima don't talk and waiting you take from all down there, waiting therefore add to that, sir.
Let's say you get calls on the line. Calls on the line.
Oh, we get call at them. No, but I want give you small time because you don't silent a little bit. I want give you a smile. Call at them. There, I wanna give you a few minutes. Let Mr. Kutubu just explain your own side quick. Then at the canto una because una safe important una na the show. Please una hold on. Let just done with the panelists. Then I will definitely come to una be a big. So Professor, go ahead, sir. You know
But for
Mr. Lee.
me get an entirely different take on this. For no way, not the way for common in country, go to other ports, you don't get traveling document. And the traveling document for me passports. No way. You get forget them. That get for me a matter of must forget passports from your country before you go to other country. So now the first thing is start. And also, I believe say a year also they no way, not the way you can if you illegal, where you get chance for go school. You cannot do them. You don't go even get social security number. And if you don't even be careful, you don't go drive now. So all of these things. So what would they try for categorize here? So if you been count your document, count your passport, it expire for whatever reason, then you're not involved in any activities really totally anti-American. But if you just come out in your country, you not be take no document, and when also like a requirement, you come out there. You go to people country, it will be very difficult for them to enter into any diplomatic negotiations. I mean, we got to take emotions out of this. We really get for take because they are this year. You must get document for commander in country, one way or the other. But if you decide say no, you don't go take camp, you can go normal say oh wait camp and camp. They'll say oh go not let them do for God and Nabi. No, countries do not run their policies on God and Nabi. Again, lay down policies then. So we also know no one creates the impression say we support people the way they left their country, where they know they go take documents in their country. Then there are me on problem with this. Now how go know who are the real Salonians from who not to the real Salonians. All of these things are so. Yes, you get humanitarian concerns, but also get for be very mindful. Don't like I start earlier. People they get the right for protect the country, for defending the country. You get
I agree, but I take them in another way, sir. I agree with what you say. People they left, but why did they leave? I am going back to the humanitarian side. You they go to the legal side. I am going back to the humanitarian. Why did these people leave? They left Sierra Leone for greener pastures. People then go on Temple Run. They went after the war when they stopped the refugee program. Some people be done they left without documentation because some people be don't go before they don't get them, they don't make them. When people they don't go, they don't make them. Yes, it is illegal. Even in America here, the Mexicans, the North Americans, they come into America illegally with no papers. Then they come with no identification. When they land their foot, now American soil, they say asylum. then seek asylum, because they know say if you seek asylum, then therefore will take you. And when the courts take you, like Mr. Shillong rightfully explained, then therefore see if you meet the criteria. If you don't meet the criteria, because you don't get that I-95 where you can inside with, because you don't get that paper where you can inside, because you don't get documentation, now they therefore identify which country you come out. They therefore identify that. Of course, it is whatever, but people take risk just because we don't country them. Like how you rightfully say, Professor, we get to go back to we government. We government get for fix we country where people are not going to be able for one away risk their lives.
Exactly.
Therefore, the government therefore fix the country. We therefore begin Allah because Donald Trump called African countries SOs. That we have all this, but we cannot manage ourselves, we cannot develop. We keep taking loans, we keep taking, that's why these people get power over we. Say, I know one day now, I can't sign paper, we'll go give you this, if not, we'll not give you this, we just sell because that is their country.
I don't cut you before you take a caller. Since Mr. Bio come with power, if you accumulate all the money that you don't get, grant, and if I most of the money in that grant, all of them saying if you accumulate all the money then na boku money than they for let he put things to focus on. But every day he's traveling, every day we ask her, oh, I go bring investors. And so the very policy system where the government say will get the way they pursue, now they make people they're not saying anything. And people are because all then we are aware of this that they are giving them money. But the question where the money where they give now. How will I not go able to stimulate growth, create jobs and etc. So I not blame the people the way where they left at the corner. Me problem continue for me with the governments. All of the governments that we create this what they say hardship for people them because of bad policies and they get rich quick attitude. John Crabbe talks say what belongs to everybody, to them it belongs to them. The nation and financial resources it not belong to the country, so they use it anyhow. Reckless spending, poor how they call it projects the way not go be any all of this. So before they blame America, Germany, England, France, or the first not be honest enough and not get Allah in Takwa for blame ourselves for saying that we own people there. So we venom for them on we people there, not to Germany, America, or England. So back to you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, let me take the call on them. Thank you so much, callers, for holding, for listening, for staying with us. We appreciate every one of you now. So without wasting time, yeah, go ahead, sir.
This is a concerned caller from Switzerland.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Okay. I admire Mr. Kutubu, but let you know, they say when Mr. Kutubu made the travel to America, that's the way he clap here and he clap here and go to embassy get visa. That you know the happen now. Then one thing again, all over, all the country, not only Salone, all the country where they can enter inside Europe for now, 99% they enter with a document. This one is clear. The system migration where they don't change. The Europeans then said they try to adopt. Now they get a special identification system now they want asylum system. Okay, but the problem with Sierra Leone issue now that the national issue, politicians the one clinch the issue, and people they suffer. And if the one way Germany encourage politicians to come into the issue, then the government not going to negotiate well for the people. And this is the way it happens. So yes, a process of deportation. There is no way around it. Now the government only come if politicians do not take advantage of the situation. What is happening now in Germany? Politicians they take the advantage. It gradually turn to that APC SLP issue in Germany. Now that's not the problem. So all politicians then pull their hand into the issue. Let government negotiate the issue and try to see the better way for the Sierra Leoneans in Germany. The wisdom within Europe, Europe they want the anti-Fadima. We are on a gimme time. We are big now 30 seconds. Europe then get this integration system, that old system where it be the way you say where you can run after woman, you give document, you know again. Europe get system where you can the system learn the language, integrate, try for land job. You know, but we get a lot of junk of we then them ban off them, that then train station, we don't we then train station, we don't have Facebook. We know they concentrate for land, the language, they will need to concentrate for land job. And if you land job, they know say you land job, you will employ, you will employ tomorrow, you will take care of them financially, then deportation will be very difficult for them. You get more chances for stay. The only thing I way they boil down that in terms of integration, we are not patient to integrate in Europe. And Europe to stay here is largely depend on integration. That whole system, they say 70% are Ghanaians, Nigerians, na lie. This one now we don't enter, so no one way don't enter. So this bad who they are right now. We are all Sierra Leoneans. Anybody tell us in a foreign national, it's just a type of change situation. The only problem we get now is integration. Yes, we're able to settle, we're able to get between them, but integrate. Yeah, when I say integration, you able to talk the language, then you will make it more important than the job market. I think the last now for constitution, who are then at them party, a lot of try to integrate, then we are will talk to government again. Let them see to the issue, let them go to politics. This is not about SFP, because the people in Germany, they get SFP, they get APC, they get Lima, they get CB, they get all right. This one not
okay, thank you.
Because
thank you, Mr. Omar.
They go fit in a political program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Next caller, please. Thank you, Mr. Omar. Next caller, what's your name? Who's they call from, please?
Yeah, good evening, Auntie Fadima, and good evening to
Hello, CEO. How are you, sir?
You know about me, how you do a long time.
Yeah.
Give me on simple first of all, what I want to say, you're fortunate, but we the Sierra Leoneans they need for learn one thing. Lord, we learn for take we local politics away from international situations. So the entire they happen right now because of we local politics they put into this one get for cost trouble for we safe in the long run. Lord, we under this issue as Sierra Leoneans instead of EPC and SPP party members. What me they see now this now just a team one all they say. Both sides don't find themselves in the hard place between the hard place and the rock. The government, no matter what they do, they go for a problem. The people in the German, no matter what happen, they get for come after them. So what we need for do, we look at the interest. The German government right now, they get right what they need to do because they look at the interest of their country. So as well, the Salone government also look at this situation for the interest of young country. So what they need for do now, me they ask the people in the German. Inside Germany, the Sierra Leonean the way inside Germany then gets the people away people away in the terms of the unions them. But then allow them people have to go to the embassy, go see the ambassador them, talk like people away then get sense. Let we take we local politics out of this. The chancellor na German, my politician. They know how daring this situation can be for any politician. So which we own government will use that as a leverage for negotiate. Now we talk about criminals. Let we watch how the thing they play. The German government will council they can deport people and way not law abiding people. Even the German citizens go turn on them. So the easiest way you go put them is that listen, we need to deport criminals in our country. This is where we government they come in and say, okay, listen, it's fine. But when I get the criminals, they will not send for in a jail or somewhere. When I bring them, we go take them out. But the one day when I law abiding citizens when the country, they go money. We don't know how the thing bad for we. And as a politician, we don't know how daring this situation will be if we take people them back home. So let we negotiate. We go take the bad people them away. If we not get in a prison, we hand them over, we go take the wire. But we don't know in a prison, let we go sit down and talk how we go incorporating people into our society. Because if we mistake, we say go lost elections. And we don't want to do that. So the chancellor is a politician, beyond a politician, but we need to allow the grown people in a German for go sit down that we ambassadors as well look at this from the Sierra Leone point of view, not to APC point of view. So we look at my Sierra Leoneans them and negotiate and know also we get to be on strength with Olam. Then say go suicide and get strength. While we find a way to okay now the one in right now, we find a way for bringing for incorporating into the society, the better one them, make them be part of UNA because when they pick a number now, they don't go back to Sierra Leone. They're not going to do well. We all know how the country bad. Now they give we money. We don't know how we country bad. So the thing is that now some of them pick them, but now you're picking them. Can go back and not get education and where they're supposed to get. So I think they're going to do well now in our country than they go to we on side. So I think say law we use common sense and try for take we politics eye now. We bother in do and if they go to Salone, more problem on the government of the Mother BM government because the job not there. As we always say now, right now, yes, the legal side and get right, but we not look at much. We therefore look on both sides because the humanitarian side as well is very, very important. If Mother BO allow them people to go return, even though this problem, law be fair, not to input all day. People don't travel from 19 Jubilee in the country illegally, but you don't have power and you put together for them. And this going to be a trouble for them. In terms of Lima, I mean, we all know say Lima and Christmas now waiting, but what it say? What you can say in Salone and what you say outside on diplomatic floor, not two different things. And what you say on the diplomatic floor, that's the exact thing what you supposed to say. You know, you go meet German man tell and say, no, when I take the people now, no, when I call them out. That my business, you know, say no, they can't go now. Yanda, you know, say na real sensible talk today. And what thing he get for now the right thing is say for like get way for sit on the table for negotiate with them. Because at this point now you don't say don't open the floor now, so okay, now we talk. So don't let me go over say this we all fight, this and that, APC, Adebayo, what law put aside. The big one are German right now, the Sierra Leoneans and wait and did it, una meet them, made them go to the embassy, go to the embassy, make we talk. And now find a way to the German them. So now
thank you, that's our CEO. That's Mr. Thank you, Mr. Tali. Dane the CEO of VOS, now one of the founder with Mr. Kambo, VOS. Thank you so much, sir. Next caller, please. Good evening. What's your name and who side you call me from?
Hello.
Yes, caller. Go ahead, sir.
Fadima.
Good evening, sir. Go ahead,
Hello?
please. What's your name? Who side you call from?
Me a concerned citizen. They come from Germany. You know.
Okay, concerned from Germany. Go ahead, sir. So you there on the ground. Tell we small please.
Okay. I just. Now they get me now, right?
Yes.
Okay. You know, one thing is, you know, many people they miss the topic now. You understand? When you want to know this exactly this situation, you get to know the system of Germany. You understand? If you remember during that refugee crisis, we the Germany open hand for that refugee crisis, where they make lots of refugees they come all over, they come inside. You know, the CDU, CSU, they may get a problem with these German citizens, them, you understand? Because then finally, most of the taxes the way they pay, they can't support the refugee, and now then they can't take to the border. Most of them in the with the refugee they work and then they can't begin to cause some havoc. And I remember them how they go take Butkano money, they go bank them, you know, that's all his business. So German can't sit down, not only Germany, you understand, all over Europe, the European Union, they sit down, they say, no, we need to put some measures in place. Who said these people and they come on, we need to stop. And if you don't count, we need to reduce, you understand, for them, say no get problem. And actually, most of the European Union, they may be going to elections. Say we come to that 2019. And now they try to convince all the African countries, not all the African, no more, even the Asian countries that we get refugees in there, for they can take the citizens, when they offer them. And Boko they take the offer, you understand? For them take the citizens back. You know, that's one where we say we government will evolve. They say can take. You know, and the other thing again, we border them. You see, where they in any country where you come. First thing for the like I don't take care almost 18 years. Where I carry force now, wait till I know see they make me a sidon and first I fight for. I forget about dressing, I forget about show off. Because then people are they get every when you are a refugee, then they look una how you behave, your attitude, what you do, there and there. You know, when you can they give that time. Then they give everybody time. If you look, most of the people with their problem, they know they 4 years, 5 years. Some months you don't eat it. Understand? One thing you get for time for like integrate na the system. When integrate na the system, you find out say you understand. You need to get a problem there. But couldn't fail. You understand? I don't go that particular side. I don't see how Sierra Leone in the which is the other thing again. The last one I want to give you small time. You see the government, the Sierra Leone government, now then they sell, you understand, the problem all they get so, now they contribute, you know to make? Foreigner go come out. How foreigner go and go and Salone passports. We're not to the waiting. We're not to the embassy of the issue that passport. You know possible. Like the immigration, because you go get a lot of money, they forget say them people are waiting take them money, they waiting take them passport here. Then they go do any other canteen because they're not as Sierra Leoneans them. You know, yeah, the foreigner. Example like Nigeria man them. Me I don't see Nigeria man we get Sierra Leone passport. At the end, meant to get problem. You understand? Who said you pull this passport? They go mind, you go pay them 3,000, 5,000 euros, 10,000 euros for all that passports. You understand? We embassy they take her. You understand? Everybody go do forward, they go make problem. They see a Sierra Leone. And when you look, most of them not to Sierra Leoneans them. When they talk not to Sierra Leoneans them. Yeah, the only Sierra Leone, the poor Sierra Leone, they like drink, they like that life. But for some do any kind of bad havoc, not to the if you check all the prison they waiting in there. Now foreigners and the old Sierra Leone passport. Who do they give them? That we Sierra Leone government and they give them. Because if the Salone government send the ambassador on there, they can issue a passport or in their Sierra Leone passport, inside pull them, because now they sell you back. You know, so all that thing that the government get for look after that, then they sorry for we border them. Then they one in there right now, but then they take care of their family, they don't under. Do the sufferness ready. You know, understand? Some man at the tell you for free, some man a plus, some man a bottle in the defend. You understand? For like sustaining self. Some man the asylum done. Passing they go, you understand? They go find other you know, still go other way. For them take care of your family and back home. You know, it really had to end it. You understand? With a big right now, let's tell you that the government not will do nothing for this. I let me talk for this government. They're not going to do nothing because not communicate can sign. Now, yeah, at the time of the government not going to return money. They don't tell me the government is German government. Now they go for plea too. Like when they don't get new and now new people and now we don't come, new parties we don't come. They able to plead to them. Because then say they look to the cities in this country. They want to make everybody live better life. So now they go for plea to let them be sorry for people. You understand it? Then I basically think you better for them. But for say Salone government, not forget what I want to do. So trust me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. This border don't make we understand because they're on the ground, because it could forget somebody with it on the ground for tell the stories. And like I say, we chickens are coming home to roost, then passport problem. And Kutubuki always say, let me go back to whose side the problem starts. Now we'll take another caller. Thank you so much. Caller, what's your name? Whose side you call me from? Somebody with it on the ground for tell the stories. And like I say, chickens. Caller, can you turn down your
Yes.
Yes, caller, go ahead. Go ahead. What's your name? Where you come from, please?
Yes.
Background still.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead, sir. What's your name and where you calling us from?
I'm a lawyer in UK. They are the practice law in England, and I actually specialize in immigration law. Basically, I really feel for we brothers and sisters that within that Germany.
Can you talk a little bit louder, please? Speak up a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Many Mohammed, Mina, England are the myself now lawyer, the practice law.
Okay, Mr. Mohammed, attorney. Okay, go ahead, sir.
We can not get nothing, you know. Try to I will sort myself out. I read law. Don't make I will practice now. So I really feel for people in Salone. I mean, Germany, which they go through right now. I mean, it's really sad. The saddest part is waiting Lima say very arrogant. You know, what he talk about waiting and intend for do forget what brothers are deported. If people like me was deported, perhaps I don't know what they will achieve, which I achieve in this country. You know, but in terms of my identification within the city, try to identify people in Germany. Basically, it's not just about criminals. Anybody like we Bashir say earlier, anybody really identify and finally say in a Salone, then go able for deport you. In fact, the people that wait and say now foreigners and we get with Salone passport. So if then finally say not to Salone people them, really they're not going to deport them. So effectively, this now with people that directly this affect Sierra Leoneans them. So if they identify any Salone person, then no say that Salone person really then go to deport her. So if Nigerian man get with passport and go begin asking questions them and enable for no like come on, he's stateless. So effectively they're not going to send a Salone. The government not going to accept us in a Salone person. So we think get for happen is then go left on a Germany. So really like where Sister Fatima they say the need for, you know, find grounds. The other routes, humanitarian routes, you know, and we then would consider for give people a chance for maybe able in the country. Because many see Salone people then are law abiding people then we all know what to care for. You know what I mean? So yeah, but then maybe I would say, well, Lima approach is very arrogant as usual. And I'm sure the people of Sierra Leone they and then they take notes of what they say. You know, so that's what I say. You know, yeah. But thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Mohammed. Thank you, the attorney. Thank you, sir. Very God bless you. Let me take another caller. Then I will bring the other one. Go hold on. Let me take one more. Then I will bring Professor in. Let me continue the conversation. Then you, Mr. Shilon, to address within the people they don't talk. The caller they don't talk. Caller, good evening. What's your name and who say the call from, please?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Can you turn down your set? Yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah, you still already set?
No, you're good now.
Okay, now thank you very much, Mina Omara, the call from Los Angeles, California. You know, this, first of all, I'm glad the way you, Miss Fatima, where you bring that up, because this video where they pass around, if I understand you clearly, now here old video, not a video where Lawrence Lima make yesterday or day before yesterday, correct?
Yeah, an old video, an old interview.
Okay, thank you, because they all over social media as if now yesterday get a interview. What you mean they try for say now? Let's say I go out for let Mr. Sheila himself kind to this if in immigration lawyer, because let's say Marabiho sign contract when a government say individuals then in the country where whether the government they go through change of power or themselves they go through hardship, because we always see sometimes when government they go through hardship, whether then they turn to they say na immigrant. People say that they don't can take a job them. Now then they do this or they say so then they say then why they commit crime, so they need for go back to the respective countries. We all see what Donald Trump do now. Where he catch young picking them, he put them in a cage. First he blames that Obama build the cage and just put them inside it. But where he separate the picking them from them, parent them, and send them go back. Even though where that toss will be there between.
Wow, we just lost Mr. Omar. We lost you. I guess we don't lost Mr. Omar from California. Okay, Mr. Professor, we don't lost Mr. Omar. Sorry, Mr. Omar, you will call back and they're on the queue. Professor, you know, we call them, you know, we Salone brother and sister, their voice the way they don't make them points the way they don't bring forth. What do you add to this thing? Because we go back to the passport issue and we read a column from Germany where it talks this passport issue, we government, we people where we government send for going to their country, then they sell we passports them. And like I've been beginning the beginning, I talk say they may send two people them we get Salone passport, but clearly when you talk, they know say you are not Sierra Leonean. They're not to Sierra Leone, they not sabi nobody in Sierra Leone. But because as Salone passports, then catch their wheat, then get for send and go na Salone. And this is what we do to ourselves. This is how much we hate ourselves. This is how much we value other people than us. This is how we don't preserve ourselves. Because when we don't preserve ourselves, things like this they happen, and the innocents then they come for suffer. We don't do the things that are right that would make us develop. We don't come together. We fight each other along party line. We just, everybody is just putting everything in a party. This blaming this, X blaming Y blaming this, that this involved, that involved, and this problem has been going on not until today it began. And right now, the President Bio at the hot seat because na in na the president of the day. And President Bio, like I say, this thing from Ashnamika show na that newspaper, that German waiting and forward and say 250,000 from 2019. And the brother from Germany don't say them been get an election season. And the citizens, just like how Naya, when they talk, that caller from Umar, when they talk from California, just like how Naya, then put the separate people there. Civil rights begin grab them, begin go at Trump, say they don't separate mama and picking them. They show how traumatizing it is to separate a parent and a child. You know, for puts them to strangers where we don't know what's in they go on. So it happens. But we young people, them, we get for fix with problem, we get for fix with country, we get for all the one they're responsible, where they do things that we're not right. And not that they don't know about it, they know about it, but nobody's doing anything about it. Professor, I'll pass on to you back, sir.
We don't drum this thing, so we always will look at on both sides. One, the other question, every country gets the right for crafting your policy, both domestic as well as foreign policy. This no one will go argue this. Anyhow, no guy again. They get the right, for protecting country. How they come with those rights that actually remain a business of theirs. What should they do again? They can always tell me on any side where I go with me, they argue issues them. I never go to the symptoms. I don't. Because when they miss the point right there, the emotions they set in. And some of we, even though some of we call it as I say, left for the top of history, some of who we will continue for talk about history till Osama bin Laden come back for the president of the United States. We will never left that. Now, when when the country be out in corner, will not be get this rush for any side. People not be take for when they be the overseen now. They come with steamer, MV Ore, MV Accra, MV Apapa, and all that training. And they come smoothly. Then they come. People that went on those school, they get jobs. 2 days ago now they see one big building where actually they put a batter. That's oh God, we will be getting all this here. Batter should come in. Somebody be show all of this. The economic system we are good. The political system was manageable. We all don't become economic migrants. We got to accept this. So in the course of we becoming economic migrant, we go do anything, even for jeopardize we say your safety, just for come up from the hardship of them. We greedy. I am P them which don't say they govern we. Because all they do, they people are within America, Germany, England, they place the resources of this country, and then they make sure say it's being spent on the people there. And Mr. Shiro sent me one video. I said, I'm not going to look that video there. That kind of thing not going to happen in America or England. They said, all of the benign neglect, the attitude of benign, all because of the corruption at the place. So we say funds for the spent for this, they happen. So yeah, we sympathize with brothers and sisters. We don't let for them go under. Let God be them, way out of this. But I will never blame the American people there, the German people there, the English people there, the Italian. I don't go blame them. We your governments that we need for really they go after say are they responsible for this plight here so because of bad politics, the economic mismanagement when they no more for example like I said so since Mr. Bio don't come part to now some of he don't receive a lot of money from the international community. Then the question they can wait till money you guys how will they channel their money there so why would I not go attend the immediate things and bread and butter issues there? Lily and nothing things away drop. Pastor of you just sit down there begin talk about thing way except Osama bin Laden come back now the only thing he is now we go make then can lunge be so now Osama bin Laden get for bill lunge be because these things are not gonna happen. So no, I just see the gap with the wire, how people go na cotton store, go buy bread day, now get the job, I buy bread day, I will get 1 million. So let be honest with you, sir, that we politicians then are responsible for this until they address these issues, or to begin to go after them. We blame them people for nothing. I understand the human part of them. But also the one way they cause the problem, me feel that they more for take the whip and flag them more other than they flag the people in Germany, America, England, and other places. So now me on way that I look at.
Yeah, go ahead, sir, Mr. Shilon. You don't agree with call on them. Which you
Yeah,
get what you can say.
very, very, very briefly, I want to make we understand. Number one, demonstration by the Salonians them in Germany. Yes, it will help to some degree for bring the issue in the forefront. But as far as international law is concerned, as far as any type of law, they not get solid foundation. Because I can just appeal to the humanitarian side, but the reality is that if you are illegal, you are illegal. So every country get a right for, say, they want to expel illegals. Now, there are all types of illegals. Even in Europe, now we get various types of illegals. There are certain illegals America doesn't bother to even threaten with deportation. There are certain illegals where America can be after for say they must go. And there are some illegals, even when they are different, the country doesn't bother them. Let us give us some distinction. If you come to this country, you come on a visiting visa or a student visa, and you overstay, for example, in America. As long as you are law-abiding in 95 or more % of the cases, when you don't overstay your student visa, when you don't overstay your visiting visa, or you don't overstay any type of visa where you come with, they don't bother you. But you have to be smart enough to know that you are illegal and stay on the right side of the law. Then the American law carve ways where even though you didn't have illegal status, you can able to work your way into the system and acquire status, which sometimes can lead to citizenship. There are steps, there are ways. And one of them ways then you to go about it where you don't run out of status. Now, be very careful not to run afoul with the law. Okay? But they also get categories such as illegals, even crime or no crime. Because let me make it clear. To just enter some country, even though they illegally, even though they're in violation of the law, whether with false documents or documentation or not, that doesn't necessarily make you a criminal. And sometimes people for coming in illegally, it's a violation of the law, but mostly the administrative law, where you're in violation of immigration laws. They don't consider it criminal law as such. Okay? But even in this country, there are other category of illegals. Let me just as a matter of giving people the information.
FYI.
When you deny, you don't overstay the category there. For example, there are many ways where through marriage or through many other ways, you can still be able to stay in a year and still adjust your status and acquire a new status, what can lead to citizenship. Even though you are in violation of the immigration laws at one time, even though you were illegal. But you're not able to do that, believe it or not, contrary to popular belief, for those who come across the border, if you come across the border, if you now apply for political asylum, you just can't sneak into the country. And there are hundreds of thousands of them who are here, who have not tried to get any kind of legal remedy, for example, for apply for asylum. Then then get job, then they survive. But the law does not allow them for adjust their status like the person who come in, then use the word inspection. Will come through normal means. Then you run out of status. Because as a student, you can't visit visitor. Then you run out of status. You end up getting married. You still the law flexible enough to allow you for still adjust. But when you come across the border, you are considered to be uninspected. So that means you're being looked at as if you have never even entered America at all. So I mean, so whatever they do, that you treat it as if you are out of this country. So for understand that. So the point I was making earlier, we get system whereby we can able for do a lot of stuff for the country. I mean, for people, the government of Sierra Leone, because demonstration not go help the one the way then they try for deport, because there's nothing to demonstrate about. The Germans, they get it right for expel illegals. Okay. The problem, the main thing what we got for do is we forget we own government as a matter of policy. When and don't look at everything on balance, like Mr. Tarawali would say, go get a back channel for negotiate, for give them like what you would call now withholding of deportation, suspension of deportation. We get various category, a temporary protective status. I'm sure the Germans then get something like that in a day, where even if you are deportable, they can defer deportation. Those are what the Australian embassy or the foreign minister of Sierra Leone or in policy makers them for engage the German government with, because it would be smart for the Sierra Leone government for do that, because as one of the German callers then say, them fellow then if you deport them, each one of them get family where they support you under, which means you're going to lose ground. So as a matter of local politics in Sierra Leone, it may be wise, even though internationally, diplomatically, it is the right thing to do to shout deportation that you have a right, that you have to, which they do. But as a practical matter, it may have an adverse effect on the government back home in terms of elections and support. So what do? You try to go behind closed door and try to make sure say that doesn't happen. Then I want the diplomatic way. The undiplomatic way was what I said earlier. You just flat out take the German government on and say, no, we're not identifying anybody. We're not able to deport, we're not able to deport. But that's a rough way to go. And Germany, if Gambia did it, it make it almost impossible for over 10 years for deport Gambians at this country. Just say, I will not accept any deportee from Gambia, whether they are Gambians or not. We will not go cooperate with the American government. We will not go, we will not do none of it. And he did that for years. But it's a calculation. So he knows what's in a being calculation. So there are many ways of going it. But generally speaking, everybody is saying the right thing. The Professor Kutubu does say the right thing. Mr. Taralu does say the right thing. Umar from Switzerland does say the right thing. That is, every country get a right for protect their own territory. They get a right for protecting territory. So there is no right. This demonstration, what they're doing at the street, I don't think is the smartest move, except for the fact that it brings the matter to light. But at the end of the day, they need some degree of advocacy, Well,
I think in the process now, sir, I think in that process, they don't get organization them where, the kind of German organization them where they into them, humanity and they try for whatever, that they help them, that they bring food for them, that they bring stuff for them. So we pray and hope it turn out good. But then if it don't turn out good, I'm just saying to me, brother and sister, the way they will not hold on our head up. It is not the end of life. It is not the end of life. It's going to hurt.
If I may interrupt you, knowing the Western nation, as I know them, they are people to be reasoned with. They are not like us. I got to lay. So if they state their case well, nobody will be deported except people with terrible record. I can tell you that. There are many ways. So all is not lost. It's not like a desperate situation whereby things we'll see bunch of hundreds of thousands of Sierra Leoneans deported. I think it's highly unlikely if you can go about it the right way.
Yeah, it is a sad situation, but we can't do much. We will just advocate, we will just talk, and then we hope and pray, because they say the hearts of we get we get about 7-8 calls more. We they take them call them day, but they give them 2 minutes this time. We they take them 7-8 call them because they reach the 2 hour mark. We they take them 7 or 8 calls then they allow just take 7 or 8 callers. Once that, then we they stop for today because let we give them 2 minutes. Caller they are sorry, we they take around 1 minute. Next time I come, we go waiting, but the time they go and this now hot topic and we get for talk bottom. So let me go to the caller them. The 2 minutes please. Let me give them and let them talk the case. Set your case.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, caller.
Hello.
Yes, please. Go ahead, sir.
Calling from. I did call from Germany. I just kind of the program the listen. Waiting Mr. Shilon say he say a few important things then with regards to this situation of undocumented Sierra Leoneans within there, in this country because. The main thing how for solve because now for beginning to think of waiting at the alternatives the government get for try for just do waiting Mr. Shilon say a few minutes ago and Madam Fatima you say some organizations that they try for assist the people that way they protest. Yes, now they can be something a way out of the problem, more advocacy because the Germans and our people themselves we get sorry at, but we get other issues and political situation in Germany way a little bit different than the United States because now that area, that Bavaria area, that conservative state, then get hardline policies against foreigners, so. The local government, they're under pressure, because they want to try for reduce the number of foreigners the way they live, especially from Africa, Black Africa, where you get some Black Africans from Nigeria or from Gambia, where they do criminal activities. Then, so for me, advocacy will make number, advice will give to people and they try for get the way out of this situation by trying to engage with some lawyers them or some churches them or some organizations where they fight for people individually because now for just buy time and they appeal to the government also for let us slow this deportation because it will be a very big problem for the people back home. Because all them people they need to send money in a Salone and the economy not they do well right now. So now a big thing then of them for you really take this issue with caution, and try for fight for let them slow the process actually, because it's not easy, to live in them parts of the world.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay, then. All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. I'm not going to the other caller. I'll let this caller from Germany. Keep that in mind, my panelists. They say for slow time and buy time. That's a good one. I'm not going to the other caller. Caller name, please, and who side they call you from?
Yes, good evening.
Yes, sir. Can you turn down your sets and go ahead, please? What's your name? Who side they call from, sir?
I call from Germany.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please. Another caller from Germany. Go ahead, sir.
Good evening to you all, panels. Fatima, Kutubu. What in the go on to Germany? First of all, this demonstration called for. That's not the first blunder we done. Just as the panels already now say, if we can get a back way door for negotiation, yeah? Because Germany get law, and according to the refugee laws, and if you can't have a refugee, the first country where they enter, they for acts. And most of them guys are in the car inside the Italian place. Don't put in case already done one. And when you come inside and they give you time, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, and they write you letter, it gets stages. So if you don't realize, say, the letters only write you, whether they accept you or they accept you. So if you don't define your way up, but then guys in another Bavaria area, then you relax. Now they invite people from different areas and we can help them for demonstrate for waiting. This is not the question. If you don't know what to demonstrate for, then you will get heads up. You will call people like this Adibayo for can't help you for demonstrate. Make no sense to me. We all go there now, we don't pass this stage. I don't live now for over 20 years. And they write you letter for make you can't confirm your nationality. That's number one. For process your document. And the other issue is the criminality. We will not blame them people here for one. People that don't mess up this demonstration where they call for now. Look at that lady yesterday where they go explain how people then pass the refugee status them for a long time where they caught her during court hand and Kanaya. All that's just disgrace for we. Really. Make them find way out. There's a way out. Just as the other caller them say, and people like get good heart. If they go through the back door, the channels and the problems, then it will be work out. But then kind of demonstration they look at themselves.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Caller from Germany. Now take the other caller. Good evening, caller. What's in your name? Who's the call from? Can you turn down your set? Who's you watch me from? Can you turn it down so you know we get feedback? Good evening. What's in your name? Who's the call from, please?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, sir. What's in your name? Who's the call from?
Now, my name is Ishmael. I call from Maryland.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please. What you get for say with this?
Now, my name is Ishmael. I call from Maryland.
Yeah, just turn you set where you listen to we down so you go you don't go repeat yourself. What you listen from turn off, just talk on the phone, you go hear the conversation on the phone.
Okay, you hear me now?
Yes. Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay, now my name is Ishmael. I call from Maryland.
Yes, Mr. Ishmael.
Yes, I thank you all very much for whatever they do for our country. Me, I because I'm very short. I really agree with the panelists and Mr. Kutubu, the lawyer, and Yusuf Fadima. Let's come back to side and see they start from. With president and with government, when they do good, then they take the praise. But when they do bad, other people then get them sycophants and when they allow for Leone talk to them, Leone put on to the president. While now we country people and they come on to Europe, Germany, all over, even in Asia, then they start for going to Salone. But we they start for Canada, your country. Then people know able to don't let them think about that alone, that we get something very valuable where we can use, where we go make attract people them even for camp, then we they run away from Canada, other people in the country. Let them think about that, Andy. If they don't think about that, now one way that will solve the problem. And then passport business here, I've been not start long-term, even from the time where the election time we did. I remember when the president, when they talk to them, when they sell passport for raise funds. Who knows if now one of them passport, when they sell now, the people then they act up to now. Then they blame them, all they come to them, why are then the victims, them, the William brothers and sisters, and within the overseas. You see, therefore, really be very, very rare, we therefore be honest. Let the blame go back to them. Let them solve them. Not to be arrogant, whether make them day and up, because not to them they suffer, not to the young people and they suffer, then relatives and they suffer, then they just destroy the thing like say the man and they run for camp. If the country been good, they're not accommodate, they're not going to run camp in other place then. And at the young place that when it's good, then get the praise. But when it's bad, then just throw it aside. None of them, then journalists them. One day they're not a damn mind for really saying that the president. Instead, I'm going to say that the president to the president and ministers. But for God's sake, would they appoint the ministers then? Would they appoint them? Nobody, most of them, they not vote for them. So then they directly blame the president. Make it they go to them. If they go to them, then they not stay in the kitchen, like come on, the kitchen, like commodity, like the fire now.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Next caller, please. What's in your name? Who's the call from?
Okay. My name is Leone. I call from Boston.
Yes.
Thank
go ahead.
you for this opportunity.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay. First of all, I just make a quick because I don't get enough time. Log understand something. There are many ways to seek asylum. Most of them people there are most of them political asylum they might don't seek for the not Germany. If you seek political asylum, where you seek political asylum, they say you country not stable politically. You know they expect the Germans therefore go back to the same government where they na power. He said the government not stable, where the government they try for cleaning image, whether it's good or bad, saying yes we continue stable politically, so we keep them Sierra Leone them back. That's not one. And secondly, like all other few other I don't say the demonstration they get on a wrong footing. For invite Adebayo for come, even when the interview, I guess Sierra Leoneans and German office they're very decent. They know how to talk German and English. They don't organize themselves very, very well. I watched one of Adebayo interview to talk about Court foot. War done the long since now Sierra Leone. So they're not there for listening. And we all know when it comes to immigration issue, now based on your case where the care go, now based on that they give you status. You know, but if you don't say political instability, we don't get Amos election from 2002, no interruption of election back and forth, we'll get different government, different party in power. You talk about Qatar and Court football done alongside. I remember like Ghana recently, where they asked the Liberians therefore we turn back. Yeah, after a lot of 20 years now, Ghana, they even create an old village. They said for move out of that village, they break them down because water on Liberia, for go back to the country, Liberia. So that's how it happens. You know, when it comes to asylum, it's very difficult. All which mean they say now we the Sierra Leoneans for license, we need for come together as Sierra Leone. Don't forget about politics. Right now, the people already deport, so it's really sad because they don't say where the APC, where the SLPP, where the PMDC them. Now Sierra Leoneans they deport. Now that make we Sierra Leone, we need for come together. If you government are in the power, if you do bad, say them out. If you do good, say them out. If not the opposition do bad, say them out. You know, it's really sad, but what thing go happen to every Sierra Leone, more especially una the panelists there, like what CEO say. Now una need for come together. We all Sierra Leone will mean good for that country. We forget about political party like my Sierra Leone as them who start for put that country straight. You know, no matter what, even this America will the one they get for chase we out. If Trump be succeed in second term, if it don't happen, even if you get green card, because that was his plan. Because if they chase Mexicans, the way they share border, that they get benefit from Mexicans, them from goods they don't from Mexico, they come out. You still try to chase them out. So it's our time we come together and forget about politics and develop a country. Politics now a season. Where politics come, politics may have listened from campaign time to days of election. After election, now nationalism. If you know, government and power is too wrong, I say no. You know, that's we need for blast people and call things by their name before Salone go before. You know, because remember, please.
Oh, so sorry. Now 2 minutes this time when I get. I think how many more people we don't take? Almost more people don't take. Maybe we'll get a few more. Let's go to the few more. Then that's it for today. We go wrap up. This is not a sensitive topic, but we have to make it short. We don't want to make it too long. Go ahead, caller. What's your name and who's are you calling from?
Hello, viewers.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
The call from Germany.
Yes, sir. Oh, the Germans in the house today. Wow.
Yeah, I just want to throw light on the issue actually we are facing in Germany.
Right, sir.
Like me, so I live on the Bavarian side. Towards this identification, when they try to talk about, say we for goal, we go identify ourselves. Like me, so we got one thing now where they call house build on, where they do for 3 years. Before I don't do one for 2 years. For I approach the 3 years, then say I for car with birth certificate. I carry the birth certificate when I identification for let them know say me na Sierra Leone come out. Then from there, they refer me to the embassy. Then say I for go to the embassy for let them go prove say me na Sierra Leonean. I go to the embassy in Berlin. They identify me as I talk to you, so I get the paper. They identify me say me na Sierra Leonean. I can't give them. Where I give them, then say no, this no still satisfied. I for come with passport, because if you come with passport, automatically you don't show say na Salone come on cable deport you with now passport day. But now identification what pull at the embassy, because the embassy say at now they're not going to issue passport unless the person they na Salone before they able to give the person individual passport. You don't understand? Then from there they can like tweet and letter there. So we forgo identify we self na money. Then the letter clearly states say you go verify yourself. Then from there they deport you. You don't understand. Then when at the listing some callers them people that they try for talk say, we know we commit crime with the dress or we know they go school. Oh, okay, let me tell you about Germany. One thing about them people there, then there's certain age where you can't get. If you're above that age, they not allow you to go school. Some people they don't deny when as Sierra Leoneans and when they don't deny this Bavarian side, they don't take care up to 5 years. They don't know waiting a job. They know they allow them not to say they no one hook. They know they allow them follow the hook. And they allow them follow them go school. They say because of their age. Then Gil and Duldu, they say then they wait for deportation. Can you imagine what's don't deny this country up to 5 years? They know they allow one for because you want hook. Then they allow one. They want go school. They know they allow one. They say enough for go school. Unless you count identification.
When I keep this call and lay done for talk, don't turn him off. Hold on 1 second. Please, producer, don't turn this caller off. Let finishing statement, please. No, listen to her. Go ahead, please.
Okay. They don't send people and go Berlin. We don't go Berlin. We don't go because me, I believe say when you want to do identification, now you embassy you they go. I don't want to be embassy, they don't give me identification. I don't provide them to them people there. You don't understand? Nobody know they where they tell you where you go talk say I do. Now accept or not they accept. Nobody know where you don't cross the water, you don't come for campaign you living. Then you know what oak? It's not possible. They're not allowed. They're not they give working permit. Then you age, you get certain age. They're not they allow you to go school unless you're below 18 or 18 years before they allow you to go school. Some man now then 25, 30, 35. They're not they allow them for you to go school. You don't see all the efforts and the people and they make them. But for say Sierra Leoneans, they know they make efforts. Obviously, we got Nigerian people and now we then get passports. We then get Sierra Leonean passports. But them people and they know to now. Now the people who them be don't country, they don't take care up to 15 to 20 years. You don't understand? Now then we can't claim Sierra Leoneans because then they will not be the travel so no more. You know, say Sierra Leone people and I did Benten where Gaddafi can die. A lot of people and pass through the sea. Yeah. You don't understand? So they're all old people and the way they don't take care 15, 20, 25. Now they mostly get Sierra Leonean passports. Mostly now they get Sierra Leonean passports. But we can within 5 to 6 years. You know, easily you see what a foreigner get with passports. You don't see? Now so the issue they work in Germany.
Wow. Well, all we can say the struggle is real. We pray for una. We pray. I mean, una just get the mindset. If it happen, una fight and do all una can do. But if it happen, una take and say it is the will of the Almighty. You have done everything. There should be nothing you should be ashamed of. Hold your head up and try forget that you said and get that mindset. Say we might go home. Because the way they talk, they look like say, but we still have hope in everything. In everything in life, we will have hope. So I wish you luck. I pray for una, keep una prayers. We pray for una. Let God grant una what you they ask for. We pray and hope. You know, that's all we get for do. When I don't do what you for do, we hope. So don't go to the other caller. Good luck, my brother. God bless you. Caller, good evening. What's your name and where you come from?
Yeah. Good. How do you do?
Yes, we're doing fine, sir. What's your name, sir? And who side they call me from, please?
Yeah, I actually call
from who side? No, yeah.
Yeah, they get me?
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, what me want talk about, like, what they go right now in Germany, like, people that they talk about because of Adebayo go, and I make the government no want for let talk about this issue. The government, let me say something here. Salone not get nothing for do again for that because Salone don't take money for them people that they earn for deporting people there. So if they say because Adebayo go there, the government go for talk, the government go for this, now bullshit people in the talk. That's rubbish. The government don't take money long time ago because of the Ebola make. They stop everything. So what people that they talk on the social media, they include Adebayo in name, that's fucked up. Because Adebayo go for help them people them. Adebayo go for advocate the people them. Adebayo go for rescue people them. Not to go for the government in go for let the government accept the people them. So why people that they mention Adebayo in name because the government Salone, because the number return that money where they don't take to the German government. They don't take that money a long time for the poor people. They don't sign. So it's nothing. Now the German government therefore accept them people and they on their own way. Not to Salone. So now we're not talking about Salone say them will help them people and they. It's not going to happen because they don't see money. They don't pay the German there. That money they back. So let me know how they use the government. How the government was sorry for the people left. The government have nothing to do right now. I'm talking to people out there. The government get nothing to do because they don't take the money. They're not going to pay again. They don't use some money there. So there's nothing that will happen again. So the only thing they pray for right now, now pray for let the German government accept brothers and sisters them. Now I know they pray for right now. For say Salone, Salone for help. Salone don't get no talk. Man, they don't get nothing for do again because they see money. They don't know it's money. They don't know it's money. So I talk about the passport them back. They say the passport them, the passport they don't sign. This one they don't say like, hey, me as I tell you, they pay me 200 pounds at this country. Now London I have. For there, I send for another passport for them. Now London I have German. They pay me 200 pounds. I go back me here. Back shop now you are surrounded and say I'm a Australian. Oh, I want you to help me. I want to talk to you. They call me now though. Instead of give me 200 pounds for there, they give me document them. I don't call a passport picture. Blah blah. Let me help her. I said, you know what I tell her? I said right now we government. If you want to get passport, you go for go down there. It should be passport. You get Salone passport. I'm telling you, Salone passport. They show me say they give me 200 pounds for the renew for a passport. Let me see if you start procedure at Salone. Who passport? Salone passport. See they out Boku. People are in this country. Where get Salone passport? So now foreign at them. The passport will expire. But how for renew now? Right now they don't know. We know them. I'm telling.
And thank you so much. Thank you. Like we say, with chickens are coming home to roost. Oh, what a when I can say, oh, what a web we thing, the mess we create when first we practice to deceive. Oh, what a tangle web we weed when first we practice to deceive. Wow, they say we get 5 calls. Well, we go cut them to we go make them quick one like 2 minutes, 5 2s are 10. So you said we're gonna go another 10 minutes. Are you okay with that? Don't please don't answer any more call. The 5 calls and please keep account for me. Pick account for me. I know this is thing. I know people want to voice out. I know people want to sign up. But 10 day against me. Good evening, caller. Waiting on a name. Waiting on your name and also you call from. You get 2 minutes for go with your submission, sir. Go ahead, please, ma'am, sir.
Okay. First of all, this is a concerned citizen from New York, Ms. Fadima, all the panel, thank you. People
Yes,
they call the box up situation. Like the last caller we call, you gonna say that's why you guys them, the way they talk and the way they respond, that backer business. The other guy from Boston, you gonna say a settled-headed man, the way they respond. I believe say there is the Afghans and such something the way they deport. You understand? Every government in your own country gets a responsibility for like take care of your own citizens. Now help with the help. If you look based on the condition where they allow them immigrants them to come, then condition them day a day where they write them. But people them they need to be able to go through them condition and they let them look waiting at them right and waiting not to them right. When something happen, whatever government they now the government they blame. And then they say we passport them, they need to sell them or we passport them they out boku and where some people are criminal them, they use boku things them. So all what we they say, this is a sad story for we people them back now Germany. We they pray to God, let God help them, let God give them good way, let God find way for them. You understand, eh? But I not believe say the government get too much hand inside. If the government get too much hand inside, if they say that they sell the passport them randomly to unknown people them just for money business, okay. But for say the Salone government, whichever government did it, in a lockdown situation there also. Because they know waiting the diaspora mean for the country, the amount of money will they send. They don't go one down situation there also. So now just unfortunate situation, oh brothers them they don't find themselves inside, you know. Then Adebayo, you know, some people the way some people they cost mommy cost. You know, you need to go to people country then say this, then when I begin to cost mommy cost, mommy do, mommy that. You know, we not go grill other person go do one at Salone. Then why you go for apply and then other person in your own country? You see, then they back again, you're not right. You're not right.
Caller, I got a question. I got a question for you. Where you don't use just finish this one thought because 2 minutes they up. Finish this quick thought where you want to, but I want to ask you one question. Yes, sir.
Yes, you see. So in the situation and all countries get immigration laws then. So based on your case, why did they send the Afghans them back home? The clip did it. Where did they send the Afghans them back home? Other countries then they send their nationalities them back again. This is not temporal help. So you don't cross that water day. You know, you are depressed. So they just go for rescue you. Maybe laws in the way they don't put say, okay, then people are so we'll not go send them back again at that water day. Because then people are anything where they want for do. Then go for put them, then go for write them down. Waiting at them roll, waiting them for do. How far did they go with situation? You see? So on a million down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a question for you. You make a statement kind of a little bit. In the beginning, you say the caller before you sound like Swazi guy. Then the caller before that one sound like a well-headed guy. How can you differentiate then two people in there? Because it kind of like a little bit caught my attention because it's like we don't project because of the way you talk. We don't put a label on us. How do you come to that conclusion? I just want to ask. I know I
this is an international program. Everybody they listen to. Whatever you go through, you get to listen. You get to listen to the panel them. And when you talk, you know they come with one mouth. We know say the situation is too bitter. I want even if I vote for any country, I vote for country, I vote for somebody where they allow my own people and come. The chance where I get other people and get on chances than they. So would they able to help with people and back home. But the way you talk, you tune off conversation. Don't tell me what are you. And I need to know you. I want to see your resume. Based on your resume, I'll be able to analyze you 55%. If I talk to you now, the rest I can able to know what are you. I can out of 1,000, I will able to take say now 5 people in my resume there, my 114 inside that 1,000 resume. You see? Now the way you present yourself. Now that make I say this man.
I just want to make a statement. because I want to understand you first. Because sometimes we judge people by waiting familiar to we. But some of these people, Nadan didn't know. Waiting a reality. Reality is your experience of life. Everybody gets in standard. Not to encourage because I don't do that. There was once upon a time, but you change your ways of the way they do things and talk for let people receive you what. But some people do put their emotions on their sleeve. Some people talk with passion. So for put everybody in that box, say not Swazi guys, and some of these Swazi guys is just like, you know, they're trying to hustle and get their way and whatever good one and they're among them too. I'm just bringing that point there to just be careful. Because this is the world of political correctness. So political correctness, therefore just like don't put everybody in the same box.
Yeah, Ms. Fadima, I know say you're not Fritonian, but actually we know how the Arab people are not like this. You know, we know the guy and they. Not to say decent man they not there, but majority then they we know what thing that they do.
Okay. All right, Lana only. Thank you, Lana only people. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, just want to clarify and put some things in. But let's go to the other caller. Thank you so much, Mr. New York. Thank you very much. Next caller, please. Good evening. What's your name? Where you call from?
Hello. I call from Germany.
Yes, sir, Mr. Germany again. The Germans are on the line today. The struggle is real. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, the struggle is real, you know. First of all, I greet on all at the studio. The situation in Germany this verification situation can make things very, very worst for we. Like me, what they talk so, me, I don't go to school in Germany for 4 complete good years. You know, I go 3 years in the normal school, we na 5 days per week. Then I get me absolutes from that school day, but the oko me want go learn now. So then lawyer come to the school, and they actually say, who so you want to do? I tell and say, now this oka want to, you understand? So then send me to the school and say na the address this. I go to the school, I go 1 year back orientation course at the school, just like because I tell them say I want to do nursing. So then send me to that school for I go do the orientation course. I don't done that course this year, yeah. Then for do the work now, they not allow me. And that 4 years they not allow me for work, but they allow me for I go do practical. I don't work as a Strassenbauer. Strassenbauer I mean somebody where they work in the street for make road then. I don't do the practical free work. When we say they know they give me money, they give me even water for drink. I don't do that 7 months. You understand, from the school, because the school is saying go do this practical. I go do that in the 7 months. Then I come out I go work in a hospital for complete 6 months. Complete 6 months. Because they get different departments. With the people and from there, then they carry me go outside the people with the normal. Here would they call and say the immense loiter. So they go work in that department, let them know why they able work with them people and the way they not able to think again too much. So they try for encourage them, for they talk to them, for teach they let them with the like the day, the month, the year and the time. So I don't do that course, I don't get me certificate. Then for go do the work now, the house bill away for the earn money, then say passport. And the right time when at the paper say when you count passport now for deport you. Say you go there and you go. Say but already you go in that working place, they will deport you, say they will lose you. You understand? Eh? But some of the company now who done that school day, then they go pan the oak straight, then they pan land oak, then they get a letter for verification. Most of them in don't left for the normal this year because September 9 them for done. This year 9 some of them for done. They received that letter, most of them are not wrong. Because when you done, panda house billion day, then they give you 2-year resident. As you don't, so then they give you 2-year resident permit for staying in Germany. So after that, they change them for you to 3 years. From there, then change them to you to unfisted. That's for 10 years. So they don't see them possibility then because Sierra Leone they integrate past every nationality. Like the Nigerian, the Gambian, they all then come. Na bad thing, or they say they go find woman quick. But Sierra Leone then they put effort for land. They don't see that thing. They say now people they want can gain document quick. So then cow this verification business. Most of the guidance right now, my friends there, even me, all man don't run away. Right now, if you go now we high Musa Udi, if you like say now Sierra Leone get war, you know nobody would pass the Arab then and the Afghan then that they see right now na the high. But black man, I like they say poor black man Sarah. For they see black man right now a refugee I'm in Germany, no possible. All man go and gang different side. So man don't go France or man don't go Belgium go and they no. But seek asylum. So when you seek asylum presently, Germany they call for you back.
Wow, the struggle is real, for real. All for the sake of greener pasture and better life. That's why we go back to the source, we go back to the roots. Government after government after government don't fail we. But yet we sit on social media and tell we save clothes and fetch we save for APC and SLPG. This is the problem. We government them, not a fix we country. I think almost caller now we get left. Let me take the last 2 callers. I think we don't take 3, eh? We'll take the last 2 and that's it for today. Caller, good evening. What's your name? Outside you call me from?
Hello.
Hello, caller. Good evening. What's your name and outside you call me from?
Oh,
Another year, you the caller in the break, kind of. Hello, caller. Are you there? I think they get problem. Sorry, we can't hold on too long for you. We don't know what's in the happen. So let's go to the other caller. Good evening, caller. What's in your name and who shall you call me from, please?
Hello, my name is Mohammed. I call from New York. I
Yes,
just want to be a little. Yeah, you hear me?
yes, sir. Mr. Mohammed from New York.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, Mama. I thank you very much. I just want to give a short explanation about asylum in Europe generally, because I live in Europe for over something years. I believe Belgium in the before 1997 or so, where the country be at war, where the Belgium government be deport about 20 Sierra Leoneans them to Guinea, because Sierra Leone they refuse to take their people and because the country be at war. But when we will be the Belgium, we choose for demonstrate. The government listen to we and they give we as a priority for we document them within that moment. So moving forward, I just want to try to come to the point say when a government want choose for the in the best practice of an international community, then get a price for pay. In the sense, then get for negotiate certain things and we then get for lose certain rights then. And the Gambian government from where are the Europe, they not they ever choose for send for deport them the citizens them. Because they believe say if even a citizen not get a document, and then the value way that they get for send back home is more important than for me than deport them. So in this case, it comes to the point of negotiation based on what the government go accept for do for deport people in that country. Now the government want to forget a situation where in the one day in the good books of international community, this are the price now will be paid. And then you get all them people that we don't come. We imagine how much, like with the other brother, we talk about for the document them where they don't request them, they don't get right for go school, they don't get right for so many things them. At the end of the day, then they go send them back home. What thing you feel see them they expect? And then people and we and I want to make one point again. There are people and we come lately into all in programs here. These are people and we be business people and we sell property them, we travel camp can make ends meet. Now if you get them people like they don't give all them property them out, now you don't choose for me, you send them back. Believe you me, it's gonna be a devastating situation. But at the end of the day again, I just try for say now we foreign policies them now then they cause this what happened. And you know we get everything the same time. You get forget one thing, you lose the other one. So na my own contribution and then my
Thank you.
long time.
Oh, well, please come again. And this is home. This is home away from home. Come again. Many, many times. We're here every Sunday. Voice, yes, the social media review. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Mohammed from New York. Thank you very much. Next caller, please. What's your name and USA you
Hello,
call?
good morning. I'm Edison Fode, they call from Dubai.
Yes, Mr. Bode from Dubai. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Yeah, thank you too for calling in.
Yeah.
What's your name for add for this?
Yes, the thing we had a try for saying that this thing, now this very government don't do their own deal with them get for do them. Because I think I remember over SLBC or so, they would interview Lima about this very issue before this time. It was around 2018, where they just assume power newly.
Yeah.
The thing a deal done, then go take boss and some money for take back them people in home because the German government said they don't or take care of people that now before this woman they come on a power. So if people and they come, they talk with you all right, my dear, una law day for we people then. If we know, something at the sense and Salone, it's like a cost we get. Love not the again for each other. That sympathy not the again where you go say you come pay get problem, you get that sympathy there for. Whatever they go on now, the government they're responsible. Because if you love your citizen, you know they go that extra mile there. If una can remember whatever they talk out then don't come with self Salone to the wall and they talk about the bosses they get and stuff. Now we then deal and they don't go to according to Lima. I make some of them here social media getting your bad side, but those are the good side of the social media. Made them go to records. They are there. They interview. NCCF talk. They talk a lot. So let's stop for the cast blame. I think the best way for we don't do na prayer and see waiting at the best solution for help there with brothers there. If they go back home today, no job opportunity no day. For Modi's government camp, I just casting blame on the past government. What you don't do for your citizen? Nothing, absolutely. All he could do are the past government, but they don't do the worst than this. The past government. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Yana. 2 minutes. We'll take the last caller for today. Anybody else who are not able to talk to? I really appreciate even the conversation is going on the Facebook page. People are making their comments. People are putting in their comments. We are not ignoring your comments, but I know people that they make everybody they talk within, they bother them. Everybody they talk, but these are the lives of people that are out there that are trying to survive. Yes, laws are in place. Yes, government, but there is diplomacy. Diplomacy can fix a lot of things if only we learn for calm and care about one another and see diplomacy can fix stuff. But then again, like some other caller, they say it was election time. The people, the citizens that they already pay their tax and then country, the racism is real. The struggle is real. Some which man, especially Europeans, they don't like black people. They don't like to mix with black people. Even in America, they get side them where if you're not black, because they make law against that, they're not going to sell OSG because they normally go to the neighborhood, picking them, mix with them, picking them, then they preserve. People preserve their own, people preserve their culture, people preserve waiting on their own. So it's a name, but there is diplomacy that can happen. With brother and sister, them we saw it don't happen. So, but what can we do? We just believe and have hope and keep hoping. Like how some don't on way go, hey, are you gonna keep running away? Some people go on away, they meet up block. Some people in the end they get for go back. That's the sad part. But let me go to the last caller for today. Caller, good evening. What are your name and
Yeah,
who's
hello.
you?
Yeah, my name is Ibrahim, and I call from Germany.
Yes,
I just
Mr.
want to
Ibrahim
make
from
a little
Germany.
bit of contribution to the program
Yes, sir, go ahead,
concerning the
please.
deportees in Sierra Leone. Let me say, what are the things the government don't put in place for deport people? What I mean, let's say you get people them pass through so many trauma, especially with some of his sisters then get through some. I don't want to use the word. Let me say rape, then get so many things and when them pass through Libya and they don't come at this place. Some don't try to integrate themselves, which is a different topic. Maybe I go talk on. And some people they really traumatized on this issue. And if I look at Sierra Leone, how many psychiatrists then we get in case they deport them people what in the trauma, what in this get for effect on the people when they don't deport, and people they don't school, so many train. Maybe here in Germany, if them people don't try, then they forget some psychiatric treatment, psychological things and we don't affect them in this country. The government don't look into them all, and the more pressure that could happen to the people in Sierra Leone, if then deport some of the people And concerning integration, for integrating yourself in Germany, it's somehow very, very difficult, especially if you're above 25 years of age. If you somehow lucky, you come 18 years now, some of you get them privileged we go into school, we get chances for good night school. And even Sierra Leone, Germany call them, they classify them as Sicherheitsherkunftsländer, which means in a peaceful country. So for make them even allow you, make you go is normal school or even an integration school, it's very, very difficult. They need to class you, then get to take first the countries and within their own war, which of course like Syrian and country, and then first they get to try to put in place. So the Sierra Leoneans, even when they want to go to school, it's very, very difficult for them. They get to fight so much hard. Before they get chance to go to school. And then people, they don't put so much effort. They didn't, you stand, you go through. And for learn a course, for learn a language, it's somehow so difficult. If you're fortunate, you go to any private institute, like let me say the Humboldt Institute or Goethe, somehow maybe in 8 months you finish behind. That's an intensive course where you need to pay €800 a week. You can check them up on the internet. It's people don't force all the online internet. Then we can to integration. If you want to work in Germany with different tax starting, when Sierra Leone are in class, you need to work. You have to go first in a company. When you want to work, then if in case you Auslander beholder or you land price, let me say if you didn't have any constituency, if then accept say maybe you go work, you have to go look for a job. And when you look for job, you look for a job as, you know, as somebody where not a direct work, you know, a lend you work. When you go to this company for me, then give you work, then they give you a paper. And this paper, they for take you feel, you go to the Auslander beholder, and it take a lot of time. And we all know, if me get a company, I need employees, I need workers, I need to go wait for a migrant. We get to go through so many protocols before they even give them a chance to make it get work. It get to take a lot of time. So what do you mean go do? I go employ a simple German or any other Sierra Leone, any other citizen or any other human being where he get working permit. So the Sierra Leoneans and within dinner, they really struggle. I mean, maybe you can understand Sierra Leone and get false life with a one dress code or whatever. But most of the Sierra Leoneans are within risk in life through water. And we see stars them wait and go through all them pressure that they cannot, they say they don't want to work. And it's somehow very difficult to make it integrate in a European country, especially if you learn a new language. We can say German, you know, a difficult language, I can accept that and understand it. But the government therefore look into it and they therefore understand, you know, the people them how things they go on in Germany. No Sweden kind of idle. Most of the youth man them, maybe even when they be in a camp, they be send money to them from them, you know, and try to do improvement in our country. Most of the people who integrate themselves, they want help back Sierra Leone.
Oh, thank you so much. Sorry.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Turn it off. But I mean, they give me a very, very good information. That's why I allowed him, and that's our last caller. You know, a lot of German brothers, they don't call in today. The struggle is real. I keep saying it. I keep saying the struggle is real. This is real. You know, unfortunately, there is not much to be done, but me believe in anything of life, no matter how rigid it may look, because it is human beings that sit on those chairs. There are times when exceptions are made. There are times when they say the hearts of kings and queens is in the hands of God, where sometimes you story or whatever will touch somebody, we will open doors and we will open things and forgive you opportunity, whatever. We people are left with country, like we've been beginning with people that don't come to the end of the thing. They left their country for better life. They left their country with all your story after story today. Then go all in the name of going to be a better person, all in the way of just living the godly life where God say everybody for live in in it right, say you for live and if you're able go and if you're able, as long as opportunity puts itself out there, they go for opportunities because we not get time now with country. We get limited opportunities. Everything has run down. Everything has shut down. That's why when we sit on VOS, because we are older folks, we have like Professor Kutubu love history, and people will say, "Oh, tell them about Kutubu na 2020." But when you don't know what thing don't happen before, you cannot understand for how for push tomorrow. Yes, you know the dwell on the pain or the whatever of the past, but how do we fix and not make the mistakes that we made yesterday for let we future better, for let we get good things, for let we able for dinner we country, because once upon a time we grew up in our country, we able even time with a get out with family. Now everybody scatter all over the globe, all over brother and sister. Now they see themselves as how we been see themselves. Oh God, when all day the love was there, the connection was there. But because we are so apart now, then they not there, then they not this, then they not that. Now phone and Zoom, it is not the same. We still have that brother love, but the bond is not there. All because once upon a time they get slavery. Now we the people open the door to the white people for sale we sell. And this is modern day slavery. We are running, we are coming to build their economies, and they're shutting the door on our faces. And that's their right. They get right for one because we not clean we own house. We not take care of the problem. We not value what we get. We not value we save. This is the job of government after government after government. We country get the Allah, we get nice beaches, we get iron ore, we get this, we get land, vast land, we get rivers, but yet we struggle for the basics of life. Because we don't know, we don't have visionaries them where they see the goal. I see David Senge put on a Facebook page, they go to some picking them. He writes they go to some school picking them. He writes on the page say in Peking ask him this morning where daddy He said, do you draw your goals? Do you draw your vision? Do you draw your goals on paper? And he said, no, but that's the thing. You go begin drawing goals. That was a little girl where they were saying girl became. They say, I in the sea, I said, do you draw your goals? And I look at from that and I reply to his page. And I say, wow, don't every child have that goal? Don't every child want to draw that picture, that goal that they have in their head for acquiring? I say, you have been I think I take out the report, I don't remember exactly the word, but I say, but they don't have the pencil and the eraser on the paper and the ease and the paint to draw that goal. I say, so be that canvas for that child, be that pencil, be that eraser, because you've been given. That's what I wrote to him today. And these are the things that we talk about when people think. And President Bill put another one where they go, commission schools and all that kind of thing. And all the visions are there. But I say, can it be sustainable? This is good, but I have this little optimism in me, this little negative side of me that I'm afraid because of past history, we will repeat it again because we're not fixing the problem. And because we have the schools, but yet we don't have good qualified educators. We have the schools, but the education is not quality. We don't have the buildings sustainable. We're not maintaining nothing. Everything is just wasting, vanishing away from us because we don't focus and we don't value what we get. That is our problem. Until every Sierra Leonean begin look at themselves, take a good look at yourself, inspect yourself, check yourself, ask yourself, if you're able to sleep in a net with your conscience, if you feel, say, yes, we country good like I did so. I can always argue with professor them how they talk. These people don't know. I said they will not know. Why they don't know is because they don't know any better. If they don't understand and experience, because life is about experience. If they did not experience the kind of life we're telling them, they will not see it. They will not accept it. They will not want it because they don't have nothing to compare to. And again, people are saying, Adebayo Goya, Adebayo Goya. I'm not in favor of Mamikos. I don't like Mamikos. But one thing we go always say in life, we have diverse people. Everybody getting clap. And for Adebayo to go there, some people might not like it. But then if you come back again, you try for understand. Why did it go there? Because he went through that same channel like them people today. He understands the plight of his people. I'm not there for Adebayo in cost, Mami cost, because you can put your message without being aggressive, rude, cussing, or all that stuff. But you look at it, say, this man went through the struggle. This man went through Libya. This man went through water. He go inside the water, he go into raft, he go into boat, he go into country to country to country, and he even don't live in Germany, so they understand their struggle. Until we can't down, we winder them. Until we can't down, we garrett them. And try to see the world in the picture of the man that is walking in their shoes, we will always miss the point. We will always be insensitive to other people's behavior. It takes discipline for let we understand, because the religions that teach us all the books of religion say we should be our brother's keeper. That's the universe. The universe say we forbid each other's keepers because we are all connected one way or another. We are all energy that suck up from one another. If you see your brother, they thrive. If you see your brother, they do good. You will be happy. You will live long because happy vibes there around you. That is the attitude we should try for make. Yes, some people go what they call, some people learn back again. Then Mamiki say, love them from afar, feel out with long school. You know they wish bad for them, but protect your peace. Sometimes you have to protect your peace. But the world today, we have to care, we have to think. And the law is the law. We are not denying the law, but on the humanitarian side, we are praying for you. We are hoping for you. We pray people then will come and take, fix the problem. But if una make back, una get the mindset, say, what if it does not work? What if it does not work? Una prepare the mind. We brother talk about mental health. Mental health is here because I suffer from mental health. It is hidden scars that you don't see. It is hidden scars, trauma. It is hidden scars where una not see. Depression is real. Mental health is here. You might not see it. It might not manifest, but there are many things where the person they go through inside, where they make it able because because your thoughts becomes your feelings becomes your action. So we therefore know that day and be compassionate to one another. This is not about APC. This is not about SLPP. We have made the mistakes, but how can we fix the mistake? How can we go back to the drawing board and try for work for fix the country? How do we vote in Sierra Leone? How do we put people in that are going to fix the things that we're going to make the country better? That's the question we therefore begin asking ourselves. Till next week, when we come back with another edition, this is Fadima. I say, I love you all. Remember, God is love. If I shine today, not jealous, me go work on yourself. Tomorrow, the thing will pass. I pass on to me co-host there. Let them give the last word. Till next week, I say, I salute you all. I love you. Go be that light. Go make a difference. Go give kind words. It not hurt for give kind words. It takes too many muscles for a frown than just to smile. Sometimes a smile and how are you doing? I hear you. I feel you. You know, can go a long way to a person. So till next week, I love you all, Fadima. So Mr. Shilon and Professor Kutubu, una give una last word to una people then. Until next week, me don't go. I say tata. God bless.
Professor, go before.
So the audience, thanks for coming. Pleasant good night to now.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad about the contribution and input way, particularly people from Germany. Very impressive showing by calling and expressing themselves. So we're very glad, but let this not be the only time. And we hope when I go show interest on other things affecting Sierra Leone and Sierra Leoneans, we not the Germany or we're not Germany related. So that said, I was very thankful for your contribution and all the other callers them. We call from within the United States and from other places. I mean, this is a wonderful contribution, participation. So thanks a lot. We're out of time. There's a whole lot I can say, but we may get another part of this discussion involving this German issue. But for now, thanks a lot. Good night, everybody.
Oh, to one thing I say quick, to we YouTube people and we Twitter people. I don't forget to now, I know say on a day. Thank you all so much to the YouTubers, the ones watching us on YouTube, the ones watching us on Twitter and Instagram. On a thank you. God bless you all. I don't forget to now, not only the Facebook people. Bye bye.